Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of the 1979 Grand Final between South Fremantle and East Fremantle. A record crowd. The gates have been locked, and there's the bounce down by umpire Ross Capes. Stephen Michael getting the first tap. Mountain pushing it on. Bahaja, he's going to be a danger man for East Fremantle today. Joe McKay takes the first mark of the game.
Right at centre half back. South Fremantle are kicking with the breeze. There goes the Joe McKay kick with it right down the centre of the ground. Carried under it, backed up by Green. Pushed away, Mountain bursts through. Now Bahaja, it's on already, and a free has gone to Bahaja in the centre of the ground.
Tony Bahaja just backward of centre. Certainly no score on the board at the moment. Bahaja kick up towards half forward. Jim Sewell can't take it. Taylor, now he's ooh, goodness me. See Rioli go through then. And do you think Maurice Rioli didn't charge through then, Arthur?
Well, there's no love lost between the two sides in a grand final. We're in for a big one today. Capacity crowd, in fact, a record crowd. Bounced down at centre half forward. Sewell with the ball, pushed off it. Stacks on the mill, and there'll be another bounce down just short of centre half forward. East Fremantle kicking to the right of your screen, and the Bulldogs kicking to the left.
There it goes. Bounce down that time going the way of Carter. There's been an infringement. And the free kick going the way of Tony Bahaja. Noel Carter wouldn't get off him, and I'd say that the East Fremantle Rovers are going to come in for a little bit of treatment today. Bahaja's kick up towards the pocket. Judge high, can't take it. That's Tony Kelly with the ball now up onto the left half-back flank. His kick has gone towards the boundary line. And is it out on the full? We'll wait till the umpire tells us. Yes, he's indicated where the kick's going to be taken from. John Sims to take it on right centre wing, as that was out on the floor. He kicks straight into the man on the mark. Sims gets another chance. Caught. Peake, the captain of East Fremantle. Left foot, Vagona in the van. Great mark taken for East Fremantle by number 12 for them, who of course is Lester Smith.
Yes, the wingman Lester Smith drives up into the breeze, looks for nowhere. It's all south. Simon Outhwaite taps. Taylor, the sharpshooter, gets it over to Bahaja.
Oh.
Look at the elusiveness of this fellow. Bahaja now with plenty of time from the angle, lines up the big sticks, and there's the first score on the board in the grand final. 1 point to the blue and whites.
Kevin Taylor looks like a bit of a target today. He's been on the receiving end of a couple of heavy ones already.
Well, it has surprised me in the last two games, John, that he has not been a target. He's been a left footer, but I think he's big enough to get over it.
Tony Bahaja's had 4 kicks already. That's Stephen Michael to Simon Outhwaite. He in turn to Barrett. Barrett left centre wing, slung. Ball running free. Chance for Morley if he's good enough. He was drifting back in towards the centre half forward position to try and take the loose ball. It wasn't forthcoming, and it'll be thrown in right underneath our broadcast position.
Yes,
1 point to East Fremantle.
And the Rucks are a long way behind the play. This is Peake, the Ruck rover, and Stephen Green to Bahaja. Caught over the neck. The burrowing Bahaja gets another free. One of the characteristics of that rover. Look at the pass. Looks for Lester Smith. One spectacular mark already. Into centre half forward looking for Jim Sewell. Joe McKay is there. So was Cornell. Spillage goes to Jimmy Sewell for East Fremantle. And finally, Russ Capes says, I'll have it.
I was just looking at Tony Bahaja behind the play then, Arthur, and he was holding his head. Stephen Michael must have hurt him a little bit.
Well, he might. But there's Stephen Michael up with the play. Prodigious knock by Sewell. Shark by Turco with pace. Back to Sewell, centre half forward. Lead on to Thompson, has found him. And the pace of this match in the opening few minutes of the grand final of 79 is a cracker. 3.5 minutes have gone. And Ian Thompson, the star of the first semi-final when he collected 7 goals, is now only 40 metres out from goal. A left footer who's usually pretty accurate. Let's wait on the Thompson kick. He's allowed for the breeze, but it's drifting back. What has he got? He's got 6 points. First goal on the board to the blue and whites.
Well, there's no doubt about it that the Rovers are going to be the target for the day. Now, Bud Bahaja, all this year, has been quite inclined to stick his head down when running very low to the ground, and of course Stephen Michaels went straight through him. All right, he may be hurt at the moment. He's got his hands on his hips, he's got it behind his head, but these are the things that might teach him a lesson, but this is going to be a good crackerjack game.
Comments from Steve Marsh. There's Bahaja again with a ball, sticking his head down, as Steve has said. Carter, left foot kick, up towards half forward. Doug Green, timely mark being paid. You think East Fremantle don't need this player fit too? Bit of a doubt about him, but Green's kick out towards right centre wing. Stephen Green in front. No relation. 15-metre penalty being imposed. Stephen Green's kick up towards right half forward flank. Jim Sewell in front, can't take it. Taylor, look at him throwing himself on the ball. He's going to be trying his hardest for East Fremantle today. There's been an an infringement, and Carter to take the kick. Now called a play on. Cormac bundled out. Look at them packing up on that ball. Trying to shovel it further forward. Oh, Mountain collided with Michael. Now the hand pass comes out to the speedster Turco. Where's he going? Now back up the centre. I saw Brian Peake tripped over behind the play. Vagona is in there. Interference taken on the far side of the ground to Lester Smith. And he'll take yet another kick.
Yes, well, John, Lester Smith, for the sake of the viewers, is very easy to pick. He's playing in long sleeves. The only, apart from Judge, the only two players on the field with long sleeves for the Blue and Whites. And Cornell for South is wearing long sleeves too. Well, that's his third kick already. Lester Smith 60 metres out. It looks pretty good from here. Distance is all right, but a behind going onto the board for the Blue and White. So they go to 1-2 in the first 5 minutes of play. They're kicking into a slight breeze. South Fremantle yet to score.
Waiting on the kick, and a beauty too, looking for Stephen Michael. He's up, can't take the mark. Look at them going through. That's Simon Outhwaite with courage. Into Rioli in the centre. Rioli a left foot kick and a long one too. Up towards Bauskas. Goodness me, where's Crouch? There he is. Morley to Delmenico. Souths can score. And 1 point. Gee, that was bad play by the East Fremantle defence then, Steve. Bauskas was 10 or 15 metres on his own.
John, he was 15, 20 metres, and instead of running at the ball, he propped, and it gave the defence of East Fremantle a chance to get with him.
Well, we ask where Roger Crouch is. Here he is, and his first kick to league football for about 7 weeks. Up to Carter and Michael. Shark by Lacroix, the dashing half-back flanker. Here's the feedster now, Taylor. Leaders on to Peake at centre-half forward. Bad lead, picked up by Joe McKay. Peake's back there again, but the free or interference to McKay has been spotted by John Morris, and a 15-metre penalty to boot. Well, there goes McKay. That'll be another 15-metre penalty. Mario Turco calm that temperament in the opening minutes of this game. Well, Joe McKay, he's a long kicker of the ball, and this is no exception. Into the forward, Doug Green. Looks as though Green could have a very, very big day in the grand final today at centre-half back, John.
Yes, I agree with you, Arthur. Going out wide, looking for captain Brian Peake. He's up. Oh, goodness me. Well, well. Courage to get up again, wasn't it?
Steve, does this remind you of the derbies of old?
Well, this is what's going to happen. If you've got to win a game, you've got to be able to take it.
East Fremantle on the receiving end at the moment as Peake's beautiful kick up towards Sewell. He's going to be paid the kick. Joe McKay won't give him the ball back. Now he does. East Fremantle are 1-8. South Fremantle a point. 7 minutes gone in this first quarter. And a good mark taken in defence by Kavanagh. Kavanagh coming out wide. Ball now being worked up towards left centre wing. Oh, well trapped Tony Morley. Going in short looking for Stephen Michael, and there he is.
Well, he was nearly off too, but there's the 225's person, Stephen Michael. Long kick looking for Moyle. He outpointed Lacroix on that occasion. And Graham Moyle, there he is, number 4 on your screen, has marked only 35 metres out from goal.
Brian Peake's a little bit groggy too, Arthur.
Well, he's groggy, but he's strong. But talk about a partisan crowd. The gates were closed here just after 2 o'clock. And even the breeze is coming up from Fremantle. It's a very strong southerly, and this will enable this kick to stay on line. He's allowed for it. Breeze blows it back. Too much, however, and 1 point going on the board. The first score for the Bulldogs in this grand final of 79.
East Fremantle 1-2, Souths 2 points. Waiting on number 22. That's Roger Crouch. Been out of footy for a while, but coming back in to have the important role of playing at full back. Good kick into play. Up goes Carrot. Good mark. Carrot a left foot kick up towards left centre wing. Over Turco's head. Stephen Green and Rioli. Must be a trip. Jim Sewell doesn't agree with it. Maurice Rioli says it's my kick. And he'll take it just midway between right centre wing, right half back flank. Rioli's off. In towards centre half forward. Carter is there. No one looking after him. And the South Fremantle captain takes a good mark. That's Carter. What a courageous game he played in the second semi-final against Claremont when he came back after 8 or 9 weeks out with injury. And thinks he's got a bit of a chance with this one. Goals are wide open. Tried to kick that a bit hard. Right full forward pocket. Oh, Bauskas. Has he been awarded the mark? No, play on. There's a snapshot towards goals. It's offline again. Well, Ray Bauskas got badly mixed up with Paul Mountain then. Bauskas claiming he held the mark, but the umpire having none of it. And the third point goes on the board to South Fremantle. Steve Marsh, costly misses.
Yes, well, there was just a bad mistake by those two players, and unfortunately it cost him a goal.
Simon Outhwaite under the pack, shoves it Delminico tight to the boundary, but one of the South players has been scragged. Ross Capes indicates that there will be a free, and it goes to Delminico. There he is, number 10, Wayne Delminico. He's got a big kick too, and he kicks into the breeze. Doug Green is up there for East Fremantle, but in front, Bauskas interference allowed to play on. Listen to the crowd. Dobson the clearing kick. Peake versus Outhwaite, backed up by Sims, but by Gita handing it out to Brian Peake today. Gets the free, plays quickly on looking for Jim Sewell versus McKay. Neither can mark. Now Taylor overruns it, scoops it out cleverly for Green, who sockers it now for Turco. Turco's got the pace. There are openings everywhere if he gets his kick in. There's Judge in front of his teammate in Kelly, and Judge's mark, plays on quickly, he lines them up. Normally a pretty good shot for goal is Kenny Judge, falling short. Thompson has he marked in the goal square. No, he hasn't. And a forced behind going on the board for the blue and whites.
Fair bit being handed out. Sorry, Arthur, go on.
Yeah, the place is a cracker, Steve.
It's a cracker, all right. South Fremantle are handing out at the moment. East Fremantle got the hold of the ball, though. This is the difference between the two sides.
That's right. Ball towards the centre of the ground. There's the bounce down, or going to be a bounce down at centre half forward. The score is Fremantle 139, South Fremantle 3 points. Moylan on the ball for Souths. Interference has taken place to the big fella. Lion-hearted effort from Moylan in the final round game so far. Mick Moylan clearing into the centre of the ground. High kick, Delmenico in front, thumped away by Lacroix. Doug Green caught. Lacroix again. Carter, courage. Can't break free and has been caught too high and will take the kick in the centre of the ground.
Carter's away, quickly gives it to O'Brien. O'Brien's long kick with the breeze. This is Crouch from behind. Stephen Michael in front. Clever, punched away by Carter. Bauskas caught too high. And at centre half forward, Ray Bauskas will take a free. Oh, and
silly Bahaja.
Comments by Steve Marsh, and I would say that over 30,000 of the South supporters agree with him. And it's on again.
It is on too. Bahaja walking away from it as angry as you like.
Oh, well.
And midfield play too, a little bit of backhandedness in the middle of the play. But anyway, all eyes on Bauskas. Can he bring up the first goal for South? He's directly in front. Should be just a formality, and is.
Yes, well, there's no doubt about that. There's a little bit of frustration going on. South Fremantle have started the rough stuff. Okay, well, I mean rough stuff in with the Lord because there's no free kicks being given. But the same token, they're trying to soften up the little fellas for East Fremantle. East Fremantle doing it. Now, as soon as East Fremantle came back with that, they did it deliberately. They cost a 15-yard penalty. So on the board, 6 points to South Fremantle.
I was just noticing, Steve, that both two of the fellas you're talking about that were softened up, their captain Brian Peake and Tony Bahaja walking around at the moment, hands on hips, not looking too good at all.
No, it's pretty hard knocks.
Bounce down in the centre. Off goes Souths again through Carter. Carter's kick up towards Bauskas. He's clean bowled. Ball running free. A chance there for 28 Kerr. Ball in the right full forward pocket. Look at them going in. Kerr up again. Can't get boot the ball. Dobson. Dobson's high kick. Going to be all South Fremantle. And Moyle has taken the mark, number 4. Moyle would be just forward of the right half forward flank. The breeze coming behind him. He's got an excellent opportunity to bring up South's second goal. It's all tied up at the moment. 1-3 apiece. 13 minutes gone in the first quarter. Moyle's high kick. Not going to quite make the distance. Stephen Michael from behind. Can't take it. Lacroix going to shove it, is he? Oh. In they go with vigour. On the receiving end of that was O'Brien. And the ball's out of bounds, and O'Brien is in a lot of pain, let me tell you.
Stephen Michael now, he's the only ruckman there. Purser, the two big players, Carter, but it's been sharked by Mountain. But in his haste, the ball has gone over the line on the full, and that, of course, is the new rule. A penalty free will be taken by Peake.
Yes, it's all right to have courage, Arthur and John, but at the same time, you've got to have a little bit of common sense.
Comments by Steve Marsh. There's the long high kick of Peake. Purser punched away by Green. Shark by Rioli's clever. Purser again, gives it to Cormac. This is his first touch. He kicks the ball into the centre where it's 1 in, 1 out. Cornell versus Mario Turco. Too much height, Cornell, and too well of reading the play by Jim Sewell. Long hand pass sets up Bahaja. On his tail is Rioli. Centre half forward. In comes Judge. And what could be a lucky pass, because I'm sure he set Taylor up for the lead, has gone into the safe arms of Ken Judge. Well, there he is. Number 8 on your screen, Ken Judge, who is normally a very, very accurate kick from goal. He's only 35 metres out. And with the breeze coming to the left to the right, down the screen. Oh, it's a missed kick. He's got nerves, that's for sure. And the ball's gone out on the full.
Tony Bahagia's had 6 kicks, Peake 4, Lester Smith 3, and for South Fremantle, Carter 3 and Rioli 2. Kick in by Kavanagh. Left foot kick, looking for Tony Kelly, behind Moylan, can't mark, through Sewell to Sims, he's bumped off it. Now it's South Fremantle's turn, Mountain, he's sunk. Hand pass comes out to Turco, where's he going? Kick is smothered. Can Turco recover? He's on the bottom of the pack. There's 4 South Fremantle players all over him.
Rubbish.
Holding the ball. Rubbish, says Steve Marsh.
Come on.
And the kick will go the way of Cornell. Left footer, putting Souths into attack.
Into centre half forward. Crouch are all over him. He's in front, but play allowed to go on. Moyle now Crouch a second. That was clever. Crouch, he gives it out to Dobson. Hot under the hammer and caught without possession. Play on indicates John Morris, and now a free's been spotted. Well, O'Brien, who was a recipient of a very heavy knock, has certainly got the courage. He's back again. There he is, Jeff O'Brien. Doesn't know where to kick it. Sees Vagona on his own on the left half forward flank, right in front of the members stand at Subiaco Oval. And now Benny Vagona slows things down as he waits for a lead. The one is on from Morley. Where'd he come from? And Tony Morley has marked, straightened up the angle directly in front of goal, but is a good 65 metres out. Tony Morley, the captain of last year for the Bulldogs, has put the kick on its way. He's got the distance all right, but that is the 4th point now going on the board for the Bulldogs. They hit the front, they go to 1-4, and they're leading East Fremantle 1-3 at the 16-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, they've got to definitely use the breeze, South Fremantle. They are not doing it at the moment. When you go into goal, the kick getters, East Fremantle are in front.
Stephen Green, good mark at centre half back. He's playing well in the centre against Rioli. Out towards right centre wing, looking for Jim Sewell. The clash between he and McKay is a beauty. Sewell with the ball, not now. There goes Rioli. What can he do with it? Oh, he's well and truly thumped. Jim Sewell taking one from Morris Rioli. I know who I'd back in that one somehow. And Rioli on left centre wing to take the kick and a 15-metre penalty. I like the way the umpires are imposing those 15 metres because they're keeping control of the game, which in the opening few minutes is very important. Rioli centre half forward. Green with a sit. Can't mark. Dobson. Number 4 there is Moyle dropping the ball. The crowd has screamed. The umpire agrees. And Dobson to take the kick.
He tips it out to his captain, Brian Peake. Peake now with a run of the ball, and there's a lead onto very quickly John Sims. Back to Peake. Peake will have to go.
Oh.
Caught. Lacroix now, umpire in his way. Sidesteps, and it's all South Fremantle. Mountain says thank you. Quickly goes to Bauskis because he's checked by Crouch. Crouch can't hold it, but has paid the mark. Oh, and listen to the crowd. They don't agree with that one. And what a crowd we've got here. It's a capacity one. I'd say that 95% of them are Fremantle folk. And the South people didn't like the acceptance of that free. There's the Roger Crouch kick up the members' side. Bumped out of the way, though, is Peake, but this allows Green to take the mark. And so Stephen Green has marked right in front of the sponsor, Town and Country sign on the ground. This is Green's 4th kick.
Stephen Green up towards right half forward towards Sewell. Goodness gracious. You think they're not handing out a little bit of treatment after players are taking marks, and East Fremantle at the moment seem to be on the receiving end of most of them. But Sewell's tough. Here towards half forward, looking for Thompson. He can't mark or try to give it down to Taylor. Through comes Bahagia. He's sunk into the ground. O'Brien didn't agree with it. But Tony Bahagia, who's had 7 kicks so far in the opening 18 minutes of play. Going in short, looking for a lead from Thompson and finding him.
Beautiful.
Great kick and a strong mark. South's a 1-4-10, East Fremantle a 1-3-9. Thompson's got a goal for South Fremantle, for East Fremantle I should say, and Ray Bauskis has got one for Souths. Well, he's been a great success story, Ian Thompson. Concentration personified at the moment. He's about 35 to 40 metres out, directly in front. He's already scored 1 goal, as I told you. Can he make it number 2 for himself and for East Fremantle? There's his kick. It's coming in like a boomerang. It's through the centre. Good kick.
Well, great play by Ian Thompson. Led well, just left Kavanagh for dead. But one comment I'd like to make. That Brian Peake now has been the target for 3 deliberate elbows. 2 have connected. Now, I only hope that South Fremantle can take what he's going to give in a minute, because I think he's just about jack of it.
Well, 3 qualifying
Good comment,
rounds
Steve.
produced exhilarating games, and this one is no exception. There's Stephen Michael. Carter, though, sharking the ball. Rioli quick to Carter again. There's 3 Carters out here. Rioli again. Long kick. The goals are wide open. This could roll in. Benny Vagona versus Dobson. It's rolled in. A magnificent goal from Maurice Rioli.
He does a lot of those, doesn't he?
Well, he does that. How many times this year that Maurice Rioli has broke away from the centre and kicked long? He's always a good deliverer of the ball, but he could see that the player was too far out, and he relied on the wind to do the rest, and it definitely did.
Top kick from Rioli. That takes Souths to 2-4-16. East Fremantle at 2-3-15 as we approach the 20-minute mark in the first quarter. There you can see the score. 1 point in front to Souths. Bit hard to know who's kicking with the breeze. I think it's blowing straight across the ground. Bounce down. Purser tries to take clean possession, is tackled. Kick out towards the half-forward line. Simon Outhwaite comes through, caught by Peake. Rioli to McKay is good play. McKay to half-forward. Lacroix waited, had to. Through comes Delmenico. He can score from there. And what's going to happen? Delmenico was dropped after he kicked the ball, but the umpire decided that it was in the action of kicking, and the score stands.
Yes, well, I think the umpire, Johnny Morris, would have been a little bit of unfair there if he gave Delmenico a kick, because a lot of it's been going on since this quarter started, and they haven't given a free kick for it yet.
Steve, although the breeze is blowing across the ground, do you think there's an advantage to the left of your screen where South are kicking?
Oh, yes, this is for sure, Arthur, that they got to play the scoreboard flank for sure.
Well, it's 2-5 to 2-3. 2 points the difference as Crouch comes out to the members' stand. Carrot is there, Carter and Rioli. Rioli in front, not Rioli, it was Stephen Michael. Now Morley with the run of the ball, hasn't done much to date. Morley now, look at that sidesteps, clever, plenty of experience. Gives it to Rioli, the star. He has one eye on Sims, but still manages to gather in the ball. Leaders on to Bauskas, centre half forward, but Jeff O'Brien chips in and says thank you.
Had to take the mark though, Arthur.
The South look better in the forward line. There's Morley back again. This is what he did in the second semi-final. Tony Morley, distinguished winger, is now playing on the half-forward flank in the ruck rover, and he seems to like the chance to be elusive, create position and kick a couple of goals. Well, here comes the Tony Morley kick. Red and white flags are flying. That's another goal on the board for South.
Well, congratulations to Peter Morley, because he was the architect early in the piece of picking the ball up on the wing. He handball over to a teammate, run down through and received the kick back from Rioli. It was a good bit of play by Morley.
Well, they're starting to use the breeze a bit more, South. There you can see the score, 23-15. And I think East Fremantle have got to get a bit more out of their ruckman. Their ruck rover, Brian Peake, and their rover, Tony Bahaj, are still feeling the effects of some early treatment, and they've really got to start to crank themselves up. Bounce down in the centre. There's Stephen Michael, yet another tap. Chance for Cormac. Tackle is too high on Carter. Quick hand pass out to number 28, Kerr. Kerr's kick up towards half forward. Crouch in front, good mark.
Well, this Crouch is doing a pretty good job down there. He's been out of football, as we said, for quite some time. There's his kick going out the scoreboard flank. Kerr in front is marked. A lot of attention from John Sims. But there he is, Ross Kerr, a back pocket player, come ruck rover, come winger. He's played just about every spot. And there's his long kick again into the danger area for East Fremantle. Everyone misses it. This allows Carrot, who's striding out with a bit of nonchalance. You can't do that in grand finals, Merv. Back up to Bahaja. He's got the fiddles today. Looks for Lacroix, who's set up. In comes O'Brien. And by G's playing an effective game, Jeff O'Brien at the moment. Number 38. The lead is on for Bauskas, falling short. Purser in front of Mick Moylan. And Andrew Purser, the boy from Magumba, saves the day. Handballs to Carrot. Geez, playing quite casually is Merv Carrot. Here's the 1 in 1 out. Stephen Michael versus Carter. And the brilliant Stephen Michael accepts the mark.
Come on, pick him up.
Pick him up, says Steve Marsh, and Michael's away. He's in goal kicking distance. This is right in the square. Mick Moylan's there, punched away to Carter. The Haj is on Carter's tail. Interference may be, but play on. No. Fiddling with the ball. That's one of those ones that can go either way. But Carter's got the decision.
He got the decision. He's given it to Rioli, but no way was he. Had only one hand on the ball.
Benny Vagona is the fella now with the ball, number 8. And this young guy who came down from Darwin 2 seasons ago has a lot of brilliance and was normally a very accurate kick. Well, 15 metres out from goal. Benny Vagona lays it onto the foot, and that's the 4th goal on the board for the Bulldogs.
Yes, well, that's how the breaks go. No matter how we think that the umpire should have made the decision or what he did, but Carter was very, very shrewd. He was very, very quick while the discussion of what should have happened, what shouldn't have happened. He kicked it straight over to Benny Wagona. Good play, South Fremantle.
Well, there's the score again. South starting to creep away a little bit at the 25-minute mark. And doing it quite well at the moment. Their rucks are playing strongly. Their forward line is playing with intelligence, and East Fremantle are going to have to tighten up a bit in that area. Out towards Brian Peake comes the ball. Oh, goodness me. Is he getting some treatment there today? Peake going to kick the ball long. Up towards half forward. McKay in front. Can't hold the ball. Taylor a chance. He's dropped. They're really packing it up in that East Fremantle forward line. And Capes will bounce it down at almost a true centre half forward position. Joe McKay takes clean possession. Taylor accepts the hand pass, breaks the tackle. Here's danger for South Fremantle, but the Taylor kick is wild. Could it be, Steve, that the softening up process of South is having an effect?
Well, I don't think that was the case with Taylor, John, but the fact was I think nerves got a little bit to him, and he's normally a very accurate kick, but that time he missed.
There he goes in to try and tackle. Can't. Mountain gets a long hand pass on the far side of the ground. O'Brien is the player. That's Mountain. Caught holding the ball. Turco for East Fremantle. Up towards full forward. Bahagia up. Should have stayed down. Bahagia still a chance. What's going to happen? Kavanagh. Mountain. Long hand pass straight out of ground.
Well, it was a panic hand pass, but it was a good one by young Tony Kelly. And now a goal in time on to bring East Fremantle back. Sewell the flyer. Misses it. Kelly in there. Taylor onto the boot. 1 point with Kevin Taylor, who has kicked a record amount of goals for a Rover in Australian company. Certainly hasn't got his kicking boots on today, Steve.
No, he's missed that one. We'll see a South Fremantle break down by the point post there. Looks like if Thompson decided to do some evening up. Meanwhile, it's Simon Outhwaite who's playing back pocket on Judge. He goes straight down the centre. Peake in front. Can't mark. He's fumbling a bit. Peake, Bahagia and Taylor not playing at their best. But Cormac and Purser are. And this is Purser. Centre half forward. Hell, shovels it out where Green or Lacroix. Lacroix says, I'll have it. Gets it back into Turco. And who's got the pace to burst away? Back to centre man Green. Good smothering there by Carter. Turco again. Stephen Green again. Leads her out and they've opened in the flank. This is Carrot way down, gives it to Judge. Judge is caught by Cornell, but smoothly bypasses the tackle into centre half forward, Cormac. Well, they went round in zigs and zags, but now Taylor with a chance. He's tailor-made for this one on the left foot. Bangs it through, and the goal on time on will be an important one for the blue and whites. Yes, very important indeed, but by heavens above, didn't they do it the hard way? They went across the ground, up and down the middle, they went across again, but in the finish they gave it to Taylor, the short footer, but missed one earlier, but good play, East Fremantle. This is going to be a ding-dong go before it's finished, and boy, these players are going to know by 5 o'clock tonight they've played a grand final.
You are so right. See Tony Kelly in the hands of the trainer. He was a South Fremantle player who was down next to Thompson a few moments ago. Stephen Michael back on the ball. Over the top, Moyle. Chance for Peake. Does it well, Brian Peake. Up towards half forward now. Ball free. Who's going to take possession of it? South Fremantle finally do. Hand pass now comes out to Simon Outhwaite. Kelly misses it. He's in trouble. Was very, very sore a few moments ago. Must be holding the ball. And a 15-metre penalty. And maybe it's South's turn to become a little bit rattled. Yes, Stephen Green, dreadful kick, out looking for Thompson. He'll probably get there, the big fella. Leaves it for Sims. Sims in trouble. Look at the desperation of South Fremantle defence as John Morris decides that nobody can get rid of it. 38 getting off the ground is Jeff O'Brien. Bounced down about 30 metres out from East Fremantle's goal.
23 was Thompson. In comes Sims. Out goes Sims, but I think Sims has got a free. That's number 3 with the ball. And O'Brien was a bit too vigorous then in his endeavour to push Sims off the ball. Well, John Sims is only 55 metres out from goal. I say only, but this little fella is capable of kicking the ball over long distances. And the breeze is coming from the top of your screen down to the bottom of it, which is from the south. Q Southerly, he kicks for the left goal post. He comes back with a breeze and has scored 1 point.
Tony Bahagia's had 8 kicks, Peake 5, Turco 4, Taylor 4, Stephen Green 7. And for South Fremantle, Carter 3, Mountain 3, and Jeff O'Brien with 4.
Graham Moyle's away on the grandstand wing. The leader's on to Carter, intercepted by Carrot. Plays on quickly, that's the name of the game. Back onto the wing position. Bahagia punched away, though he was interfered with on that occasion by O'Brien. And Bahagia will take the free just inside the right half forward flank.
Why would he give a kick for those, Steve, and not the ones that happened before?
Yeah, I think they're a bit late on it, John.
Kelly with a ball, ooh, nearly holding it then. Joe McKay to clear. A chance there from behind for Cormac. In front, Mountain. What's going to happen? Simon Outhwaite. Ooh, Kavanagh. Met by Tony Bahagia. No kick. Little Tony Bahagia's really making his presence felt out there. 32 Cornell with a long sleeve jumper. Stephen Michael getting yet another tap, but it's Bahagia with the ball up towards full forward. Thompson in front, couple of bites, can't mark. Morley clears. Kick is high. Tony Bahagia from behind, good mark. As the siren has gone and the umpire called play on. Oh, Tony Bahagia, dreadful mistake. He could have kicked the goal then, Steve, couldn't he?
Yes, he could have, but he wasn't. I know it was so close to the siren. He saw the opportunity, but that was a very good mark over the top of Stephen Michael. It gives him credit. So it shows that the knocks that the lad got early in the piece hasn't affected him, but Peake is the one that's very, very badly affected. He's not doing much at all.
No, he's not. Quarter time score. There it is. South Fremantle goal in front. South for 4-5-29. East Fremantle 3-5-23.
Umpire Ross Cates. In his 199th game of umpiring, is about to commence the proceedings here at Subiaco Oval for the second quarter of the 1979 Grand Final. Bahagia has had 10 kicks, Green has had 7 for East Fremantle, Rioli 5 for South. Only one goal separates the sides, and East Fremantle are kicking to the left of your screen as Lester Smith now has a chance to put them into attack.
Good play from Turco to get the ball in that situation. With Jim Sewell's loose at centre half forward, nobody within metres of him. Sewell goes in short for the lead and Taylor comes out.
Good one.
Good mark, yes, I agree. Rod Barrett was the man trying to spoil but couldn't. And a goal here would be interesting. Now, he doesn't kick these too well, does Kevin Taylor. Does not like the standing shots. He's a player who likes to kick goals on the run. We'll wait and see if he can tie the score up. Picture of concentration, and this is just about the distance that he doesn't like. Taylor's kick. It's a shocker. See what I mean? Does not like standing shots at all.
There's no doubt about that, John, because he unfortunately only took one step. Normally to get your balance, you've got to take 3. But out of bounds in the 4.
There's Tony Kelly now taking the penalty free. Comes up the members' wing very tight. Stephen Michael in front. Shark by Barrett. Barrett quickly gets the ball over to Tony Morley. It's all blue and white, though. Bahagia slips, allowing Carter to give it to McKay. This is clever. Out to Mountain, the busy ruck rover. Comes up the grandstand wing, gives it to Bagona. Plenty of loose leads on. Bagona now gives it to Delmenico. Over to Mountain's brilliant football. Taps it on a Kerr if he likes. Goes on with the job, does Paul Mountain, and puts it in the goal square. Here comes Green. Out comes Green. Moylan can't do anything. Now it's Graham Moyle. To Rioli, 1 goal already. Has he got another? And after a brilliant passage of play, a point goes on the board for the Bulldogs.
Didn't they set up that loose man well, too?
Yes, right from the back line.
Crouch to kick into play, going straight down the ground. It's going to be all South Fremantle. Stephen Michael. Michael with the ball. Green on the mark. Not really on the mark, though. It's Michael's high kick right up towards the edge of the square. Pressure here. Ball thumped to ground. Chance for Carter. Snap. Oh, not bad. Looks all right. Beautiful goal.
Yes, well, it was the first minute and a half. No doubt about it. It's been South Fremantle. Early in the piece, or early in this quarter, they handball from the half-back line right to have 1 kick for shots for goals, missed by a point. That was good play by Noel Carter. Good opportunist. Doing the bulk of the roving, but that time was in the forward pocket.
He certainly came back in the second semi-final playing at Grand Captain's innings, I nearly said, but that's cricket, and that'll be on next week as Bahagia now gets the ball to the centre half forward. Under it is Cornell for South and does it well. Centre half back. Back goes the drop punt. Now it's the return business, but Graham Moyle, what a game he's putting in, this fellow who came from Collingwood to South 2 seasons ago. Graham Moyle, he's got a long kick, penetrates the breeze. Dobson's got the sit here. Dobson can't mark, interference, but play on. Benny Vagona, look at the ball control. He plays it like a basketball, Benny Vagona, but unhasted. Up goes the ball, over the line goes the ball, and a penalty free will be taken by East Fremantle's Wayne Cormac. Now it's Doug Green going to take it.
Yeah, Green on the left half-back flank and a 15-metre penalty because Delmenico wouldn't come back. So Green, a good kick up towards left centre wing. Lester Smith in the van behind Stephen Michael. Lester Smith nearly a mark. Caught, play on. Player being held there was Moyle. He was too. The bloke interfering was Carter. And Moyle on the right centre wing. Good shot of him there, number 4. Not a particularly good kick, going a bit short. And a good mark taken by Merv Carrot on that left half-back flank. Score at the moment, East Fremantle 3-5-23, Souths 5-6-36. Kick to kick at the moment, not good play at all.
And Stephen Michael being allowed to get away. He should be playing this champion much closer as Stephen Michael's kick goes straight back where it came from Carrot. Graham Carter was there. And Graham Carter, who is the opposite ruckman to Stephen Michael, sees the chip on there to Bahagia, who doesn't let him down. Stephen Green sets up the link land. Can Stephen Green take control? Look at Cornell playing closer than a debt collector. Finally, it's Mario Turco. Look at that wizardry. Gives it out to Johnny Sims. The little men are firing for the blue and whites. He lines up the big sticks. Rioli got one that ran through. And this is the equaliser for the blue and whites.
Well, great determination by Bahagia and Turco there, and of course with Sims anticipating his teammate would get it, did it well and run down the ground, and he did not miss. Good play by the little men, and this is where the trouble may arise if South Fremantle don't pick them up, especially when they're kicking with a breeze.
And Tony Bahagia's doing extremely well. He's had 13 kicks so far, long way ahead of Stephen Green, who's got 7, Peake 6 and Rioli 6 for South Fremantle. Yet Souths are in front, amazing. Bounce down in the centre. Purser and Michael. Michael with a tap. Oops, Carter left it. Lester Smith. He's playing a lot better in the last couple of weeks. On the right half forward flank is the captain, Brian Peake. And geez, head's hitting the ground hard every time he goes near the ball. Boom. But he's as tough as old leather, is Brian Peake. There he is, a good shot of him. Long torpedo punt kick. That's right up to the edge of the square. Sewell up, can't mark. Chance for Kelly. Quickly off to Kavanagh. Kavanagh left foot kick. Simon Outhwaite. Don't fumble it. He doesn't. Long hand pass up to Carter. Carter running free. Now gets a backhand pass. Whoops, South's going to come unstuck here, I think. What can they do? Play on the umpire call. Simon Outhwaite is back there. Look at him throw himself in. Pulled off the ball. Tackle too high and will get a kick.
Well, they're certainly throwing themselves into the tackling of the Fremantle sides. And it's Simon Outhwaite on the left half-back flank who will take this free. 5-6 playing 4-5. Only 5 minutes have gone in the second quarter. Doug Green, the high flyer for East Fremantle, backed up by Purser, who's caught. Shovels it out Leclerc. Could have been a throw, but play on. And finally, the throw was spotted. Well, it's pretty hard to hear the whistle out there in front of this record crowd at Subi today. Previous record was 52,000. And they closed the gates at 2 o'clock, as I said earlier. So there must be, we'll give you the exact number at half-time, but there must be well over 54,000 here today. And a grand mark by Carrot. Earlier we said how nonchalant and easy he was making it look, and he certainly is. He gives it to Taylor. Bursts across the half-back line, is tripped by Benny Vergona. Plays on quickly, caught again, but the ball hits the centre-half forward position where Jim Sewell, the elusive Jim Sewell, finally gets away from McKay. Chips out to the half-forward flank, where Thompson is yards behind Simon Outhwaite. Simon Outhwaite, a fit of the fumbles. Kavanagh lending a hand out there. Number 8 is Judge all over Kavanagh. And finally, a free has been spotted, which goes to Simon Outhwaite on the left half-back flank.
Well, plenty of fumbling at the moment. South 5-6-36, East Fremantle 4-5-29, 7.5 minutes gone. There's a good mark taken by Purser. Oh, hand pass to Peake. Oh, once again.
It was his own fault there, Johnny.
Say again?
His own fault then.
Oh, it's his own fault, but he was still on the receiving end of it, Steve.
Well, I reckon he plays like a tank, and I don't think that one hurt him one bit.
His brains will end up scrambled if he's not careful. Up towards half forward, McKay high. Sims a chance. He scored the last goal. Out to Taylor. Here's trouble for South. Taylor's caught. There's a Judge. Back to Bahagia. Bahagia high. Umpire right under that. Great shot. Oh, good goal from Tony Bahagia. But as you said, Steve, they're doing it hard, aren't they?
Definitely doing it hard. That was good work on Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor throughout the season has always been classed as a selfish player and only wants it out in the open. But there he was caught. He didn't hesitate. He handballed straight to his teammate, and that was good play by the both little men again.
Well, there he is, number 2. He's playing his 100th game today, Tony Bahagia. He's got his first goal for the match, and course, last year in the State of Origin made his debut for the state and has proved himself to be one of the most improved rovers in the competition. Tony Bahagia with hands on hips. That's a characteristic way of him, the way he gets his breath back. He keeps his chest up from his abdomen, allows him to get the air down, and Tony Bahagia, you'll see a lot of him before the match is over. Thumped by Moyle, picked up by Green. What a collision. Shark by Rioli round the neck. Play on though, says umpire Morris. This allows Purser in, but gee, that was a late call. And finally Rioli takes the free.
Rioli just on the attacking side of centre. Straight up towards the general direction of Delmenico. Thumped away from him, has it been? No, he's been paid the mark. Wayne Delmenico. He's got Benny Vagona loose in the right full forward pocket, but I reckon he'll ignore him because the goals are the other way. Delmenico's kick slid off the side of the boot rather badly. It's running free. That's where Vagona was. Hand pass has been chopped off. Chopped off well there by Paul Mountain. Oh, good play, Mountain. Great play. And a bad mistake by the East Fremantle defence, Steve.
Yes, a bad mistake. They never punched the ball away far enough. They just went up with open hand sort of business, and he's an opportunist, Mountain. He doesn't make too many mistakes around goals, and he put it on the left foot, and that's the beauty of players that can run on the ball, that can kick both feet. Well done.
Well, there is Paul Mountain coming back onto the ball, playing right close to the centre circle is Paul Mountain, and right alongside him is Brian Peake. Mountain came from Swan Districts before he joined South. This is Purser, rucking very well at the moment. Is caught though by Kerr, and Ross Kerr will take the free. There he is, plays on quickly to O'Brien. The little men and runners are doing it well for South. He's caught by Lester Smith. Kerr picks up the crumbs, drives goalward. Stephen Michael versus Carter. Carter punches quickly to Peake. Now to LaCroix for East Fremantle. In comes number 1 captain Carter. Out comes Moyle with a ball, who's number 4. And finally, Ross Cape said, I'll have it. Only 30 metres out from goal. Purser again, gets it to Bahagia. Comes out in the Lester Smith area and Turco. Turco leaves the ball behind. Shark by Lester Smith. Bypasses Morley. And now on the half-forward flank, the lead's on for Judge. Tripped. Play on is the decision. There's Judge, picks up the ball, lines up the goals, stabs at the goals, and what is, again, most uncharacteristic for Kenny Judge, has brought up another behind for the Blue and Whites.
Got too much pace for Kelly, hasn't he?
Yes, Harry Kelly, unfortunately, has got a rib injury. There's no doubt about that.
Bahagia's got 14 kicks for East Fremantle, and he's really having a great day as far as kicks are concerned. And there's a good mark taken for East Fremantle by Graham Carter. Off to Bahagia. That's another kick, but not one of the ones that we'd like to put in the statistics. And Simon Outhwaite takes an easy mark. Ball high. Sims up. Thumps it on. What's Johnny Sims going to do with this one? Trying to control it. Being held but not in possession. And he's playing a good game on that right centre wing for East Fremantle. He scored a goal, but he's certainly giving his side a lot of drive. John Sims putting it in towards full forward. It's running free. Bahagia, they can't take the mark. Chance for Tony Morley. Socket off the ground by Kerr. Carter is there. Backhand pass to Peake. Oh, Rioli went in. Peake to Green. Stephen Green's long kick towards full forward. Sewell couldn't hold it. 1 point only. Well, it's fast and furious here at the moment. South's a 6-6-42. East Fremantle a 5-7-37. 12 minutes gone.
There's Kavanagh with the ball, kicking into the breeze. And he comes out the member's side. Looks for Mick Moylan. It's good to see him back on the ball. Mick Moylan doesn't let him down. Change ruckman for Stephen Michael. Mick Moylan plays, under Kerr, who's caught by Peake. Cop that. Shovels to Bahagia. Where do I go? Has a chance to line up the goals. Back to Peake. Peake's got the run. He can put this on the boot. Stabs away at goal. But East Fremantle, who were brilliant in all their final round of goal kicking, certainly gone astray today. Kavanagh coming back to the half-back flank. Carter playing well, is awarded the mark and has a chance to put Old East back into attack.
Doing quite well in the aerial duels, Carter.
Yes, he is. Carter, a high kick right up to the edge of the square. Ball running free at the moment. Judge is in there. So too is Outhwaite, and takes the only sensible way out and forces it through. So we find now that at the 13-minute mark, East Fremantle are 5-9-39, South's 6-6-42. Kavanagh to take the kick back into play, decides to go short looking for Rioli. Rioli leaves it for Cornell, which was pretty smart thinking. Kevin Cornell, socks down, left footer, good kick up towards right centre wing. Doug Green in the van. Oh, Rioli high. There'll be interference to Green. No, the mark's going to be paid to Merv Carrot. He goes in looking for Taylor, and Taylor's taken the mark, went to play on, finally gave a hand pass to Turco. Here's danger. Mario Turco blazes away and scores.
Danger man.
Great play.
Danger man Mario Turco. There was passed all around Fremantle this week that Mario Turco played the game of the year. That was last week. Well, every time you get him a ball today, he can run. And if not too many players on that ground can catch him, he's a sure deliverer of the ball. He's got plenty of courage. And one thing he knows how to back up his teammates. And there's a great example of it.
Comments by Steve Marsh. By Morris with the ball. Carter opposed to Moylan. Taps it down to Peake, who puts his head down and gets it over the shoulder, which is a characteristic free of the present-day football. Well, Peake's had 10 kicks. Here he goes, straight down the centre of the ground. The duel is between McKay and Sewell in front. Shark by Bahagia to Taylor, fast running through. Taylor, he likes these on the run shots. And that is why he broke the Australian record for a rover in the goal-kicking area. That's his second, and there's no doubt, Steve, that he's probably one of the most improved players in league football.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I think he's a great player. But there was one of the things I think that South Fremantle during the week must have been very, very worried about, the breakaway tactics of their small players of East Fremantle. And there was a great classic of what's called teamwork, of looking forward and knowing quite where to get the ball back and sure kicking once again.
Bounce down, centre. Moylan gets the tap, but the Rovers aren't there at the moment. As look at Brian Peake with courage coming through. Carter barges his way through as well, but it's Tony Bahagia. East Fremantle got a run at the moment, and Taylor takes a good mark.
Surprising, John, how he's allowed to be a left on his own like he does.
If you're playing out there, Steve, you'd stick closer to him than a poor relative, wouldn't you?
Well, he's kicked now, and he only has to kick 4 this game, John, and he's got 100 goals on the board.
Yes, he's got 97 to date.
Coming in to try and put number 98 on. Doesn't like standing shots, as we said. That kick's on the way. Goal umpire making a lot of distance. Yeah. And that's an aspect of his game he's going to have to brush up on, isn't it?
There's no doubt about it, John, because he doesn't get balance. He doesn't take enough steps prior to kicking the ball.
Well, there's a Kavanagh kick. He can kick a ball. Looks for Stephen Michael and finds him. And the Kavanagh is a beautiful kick out from goal. Breeze is freshening here at Subiaco Oval. Look at the way this ball's holding up in the air. The high flyers, Green or Peake, take your pick, the two champions. Bahagia, whose influence is being felt. Shark by Morley, clever. Picks out O'Brien, is clever again. Doesn't let him down. Back to Morley, the runner. He's been creative all day. Looks for Graham Moyle on the half-forward flank. But going too fast was Tony Morley, and the kick went astray. So there'll be a throw-in on the right half-forward flank, favouring the Bulldogs, which is on the northern side of the ground here at Subiaco Oval, sheltered by the stands. Purser in front, seems to glide in the air. Moyle again, and the tug-of-war has been decided equal. Ross Capes will bounce down.
7-10-52, East Fremantle, 6-6-42, 10 points the difference. Ball on the, looks like Dale Reeves has come on the ground for South Fremantle. Didn't quite see who went off. Crouch being held. Oh no, gone the other way. Well.
Yeah, well, it's closer than we are.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Well, that's experience for you, though.
Yeah.
Ray Bauskas with 116 games to his credit, opposed to the 33 of Roger Crouch.
Experience tells. There goes the Bauskas kick. He lays that nicely onto the boot. And there you see a great way to kick goals.
Yes, he's a short kicker, has been. It's very good to see Ray Bauskas. In the years gone by, they've always pulled him off the ground in finals, or they haven't put him into the side originally, and it's good to see him battling, irrespective of who thinks it was a free kick or not. 1 goal on the board through South Fremantle. Now we've got a game on our hands in the third quarter and the last quarter. Well, the last half in particular is going to be a beauty.
Well, there's only 4 points separating the sides. 52 plays 48. But East Fremantle seem to have had most of the play. Bahagia with 16 kicks and Peake with 10 have been the stars. And here's one of the stars for South, Rioli. Look at that long kick. Looks for Bauskas. Magnificent mark. 65 metres out from goal. The man who just kicked the last 6 points for South has a chance to do it again. Ray Bauskas has kicked 2 goals already. The distance is beyond him on this occasion. Purser in front. Scramble of play. That's Moyle again. He's getting his hands on the ball and not letting it go, Graham Moyle, today. And there'll be a bounce down just in front of the square, right in front of the main stand. Fremantle end. Moyle, interference, play on. But it's been spotted. And Graham Moyle, to the acclamation of Wayne Delmenico, takes the free. No one can understand it up here in the press box, but there he is, Graham Moyle, number 4, getting advice from Bauskas how to allow for the breeze. He won't have to allow much because he's point-blank range. He allows for it all right and hooks it wide. And poetic justice, says Steve Marsh.
What you call justice, I think, because having the eyes looking very close on the monitor at that stage of the game, but any interference would come from Moyle.
Yeah, agree with you. Crouch the kick into play out towards the left half-back flank. From behind Purser, can't mark. Oh, look at them go in. Ball on the ground. Stephen Michael nearly loses his head, and he'll take the kick. Stephen Michael on the right half-forward flank, puts it up high. Bauskas in front. Can he mark? I think he has.
Beautiful mark.
Oh, he's playing strongly. And Roger Crouch, the lack of match practice starting to show a bit, Steve.
Yes, and it's only a matter of time before Merv Cowart goes back there. I think if Bauskas keeps going like he does, purely and simply the fact he's got the front berth on Crouchy.
Yeah, Crouch can't spoil either. There's a great shot of Bauskas. There's the man on the mark. It's a goal here will be handy to South Fremantle. I don't think he's got it though, or is it not going to have the distance? Stumped away in defence. Dobson a chance. Pagona's there. Forced through for a point. And every little bit helps. 2 points the difference at the moment. 7-8 to 7-10. 20 minutes gone.
Yes, and the breeze has switched around. It's come back to the characteristic grand final breeze, a sou'wester, which means it's coming from the top right-hand corner of your screen to the diagonal to the bottom left-hand corner. Carrot in the van, taps it cleverly away, but it was intercepted by Stephen Michael, all over Johnny Sims. He appeals for the kick and gets it. Centre half back. Here go the runners. Stephen Green, hot potato, Cormac in the centre of the ground. Out it goes in front of Jimmy Sewell, which gives him the run on Joe McKay. Sewell dispossessed, recovers quickly, caught by McKay, stacks on the mill. Have a look at that. And finally, Kevin Taylor gives it to Ross Capes, as you can see. And there'll be a bounce down on the right half forward flank.
Still doing the ruck work, but Moylan does it well. Cormac is there, and he's got 2 or 3 players in the centre whom he ignored. Chance there for Taylor. Barrett will charge through and pick that up. No, he can't. Turco went in. No begs pardons there. Carter a chance. Turco on top of him. Oh, didn't like that one, did Mario Turco. As Noel Carter groggily gets to his feet. Carter's on that left half-back flank. Going up towards the left centre wing. Looking for Delmenico. Thumped away by Green. Chance for Cormac. Oh, Taylor waited and he shouldn't have. Cornell charged through. Now they start to pack up there. Finally, it's taken by Sims, who's playing an extremely good game. Sims right up there. Stephen Michael's got the sit. Oh, dropped what he should have taken, but he'll get clear. Great play, Stephen Michael. Running like a rover. He can go as far as he wants to. Big Thompson trying to catch him, but can't. And there's a beautiful pass straight on the chest of Delmenico.
Yes, he's marked on the right wing. Sees the lead on to Vagona. Chips in, does Douglas Green. Now this long kick will put East Fremantle back into attack. Looks for Sewell versus McKay. McKay, the thumper, is winning out in that position. Shepherd against Carter. Doesn't work as Turco comes through to Carrot. Half-back flank on the half-forward flank is good play on football. Has a chance to line up the big ones. Judge opposed in the last line of defence to Outhwaite. And a free for interference when flying for the ball is being paid to Outhwaite. Well, it's a very fast game here at Subiaco Oval, with the ball going from one end of the ground to the other with quick passages of play on football. Stephen Michael now. Simon Outhwaite it is. Lester Smith under the ball, tapped away by Cornell, doing it well. Shark by Morley. Morley comes, kicks to nowhere. Stephen Green with a chance. Breaks the tackle, still with a chance as he gives it to Cormac. Cormac now gives the fast lead of Sewell a chance in front. McKay all over him. And this time,
McKay.
Ross Capes tapping his shoulder indicates that the free has been spotted. So, Jim Sewell.
Yeah, I'd like to have a photo of Brownie after that one. Malcolm Brown, I mean.
Well, Jim Sewell is 65 metres out from goal. East Fremantle lead by 2 points. There's the kicker, Jim Sewell.
The one I'm talking about.
6 points to East Fremantle, 8 points in front at the 22-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yes, well, Joe McKay made a very bad mistake there. He went far too early, and of course, when you give a free kick to the calibre of a player like Jimmy Sewell, especially kicking with a breeze, right over his right shoulder it was, he had no as far as I'm concerned, with his kicking ability. He had all the chances in the world of putting on a goal, and I just was my pass to remark about Brownie.
Bounce down in the centre. Taken by O'Brien up towards half forward. Or Doug Green, well read. He's having a great duel with Delmenico. Now Bahaja's loose. Has taken the mark. Sets up the loose man out to captain Brian Peake. He gets it with one grab. That shows what a champion he is. Right in towards full forward, over Judge's head. Chance for Turco. Oh, well done, Mario Turco. What superb play.
Well, there's no doubt about it, but you saw Joe McKay made the same mistake a while ago and gave a free kick away. Now there was something similar once again, but not paid. So that gives East Fremantle the opportunity to go further ahead. Yes. Inconsistent umpiring as far as I'm concerned.
Well, probably a split second in the decision. It's just like a break it when you're starting on a running race or a swimming race, and probably Joe McKay, Steve, flew a fraction earlier than did Ken Judge on that occasion.
It could be, but you got the both umpires giving different interpretations.
Still the goals are on the board, and that's Mario Turco's second, and he got 5 last week. Will he get 5 today? Nick Moylan now rucking against Purser. Purser the high flyer, but sharked by Kerr. Centre half forward for South. Bauskas again, pushed out of the way by Crouch, who's under the pack at this moment. Cleared by Lacroix to nowhere. O'Brien gets it over to Carter. Where do I go, he said. Shoots for the pass that goes to Bauskas. Centre half forward to Vagona. In comes Cormac for East Fremantle and blazes away. Gee, Nugget Newton's kicked back the front in one grand final in 54. And where's Vagona? Is he over the line? Yes, he is.
Yes.
Oh, and that shows you the pressure of this Derby grand final. Well, my old mate Nugget Nugent kicked back the front in the 54 grand final. The breeze nearly made that one go the same way. In comes Rioli, the danger man. Quickly to Carter, caught by Sims. Back to Rioli. Ball has travelled 5 metres. Vagona has a chance to shoot. Looks for Bauskas. And I don't know if he looked for him, but he found him. And Ray Bauskas has marked as we approach the time-on period here of the second quarter. Well, only 7 points the difference. And a Bauskas goal here would be an important one for South. 51 plays 64. Bauskas kickers makes no mistakes, and South are right back into the game.
That's three goals for Ray Bauskas. Well done. It's all right to say it was a bit of luck, but that's the way football's played today, and or any other day if it comes to that. The fact that he held his ground and he got into position. He's a goal sneak and he was in the 10-yard square. That's where he should have been. A missed kick by his teammate, but he sealed it with 6 points as far as South Fremantle are concerned.
Tony Bahaja's had 16 kicks for East Fremantle. Brian Peake with 11. Stephen Green 8. And the top kick getter for South Fremantle at this stage is Graham Moyle, who's got 7 kicks. Bounce down in the centre. Time on period just coming up. Chance for Brian Peake, but Stephen Michael barges his way through. Whoops, Lester Smith runs into a brick wall. Throwing the ball, the umpire has said. And Rioli to take the kick. What's going to happen? Maurice Rioli in the centre, playing on. Peake tried to smother but couldn't. Ball right up towards full forward. Oh, Bauskas has done it again.
What a quarter.
Yeah, having a top quarter. He's kicked 3 goals for the game so far, 2 in this quarter. And I think the move will be on there. In fact, it'll have to be, because Roger Crouch has been out for a number of weeks. And Ray Bauskas maybe isn't under the sort of pressure that he should be in a grand final. Coming in to post his own number 4. That's drifted off to the left a lot. And lucky to score a point. So we find now that East Fremantle remain on 9-10-64 at the 26.5-minute mark. South Fremantle also a little inaccurate. Move on to 8 goals, 10-58.
There's $1 difference. Crouch centre half forward. Moylan taps it down. Missed by Sims. Look at the tenacity as in comes Mountain. Where do I go? Straight out to McKay. He's up in the forward line. Must have been a change. But Joe McKay's left foot ball is sprayed wide, and another kick will be taken by Crouch. Penalty free, this one. There he is, way back in the large crowd at the member stand. This kicks a long one, comes out of the half-back flank. Cormac with a sit in the mark. Right half-back flank, Wayne Cormac. Very quickly gets onto the game because the lead onto Stephen Green unattended. He can go further afield, gives it to Bahaja. Back to Green, going down the outer side of the ground. Green sees the pass on to Judge. In good possession is Judge, body behind the ball. Lending a hand is Mario Turco, but it stacks on the mill. And Judge, who is right over Simon Outhwaite has given away the free. He's putting in a good one, Simon Outhwaite, on that half-back flank, John.
Yes, he is. He's a very good defender, Arthur. He very unassuming sort of a bloke, and he plays a great game of football and most reliable as the ball's up towards left centre wing. And there's a good mark taken for East Fremantle by Andy Purser. Right centre wing. Purser's kick up towards Bahagia is good. East Fremantle little men starting to get away a bit now. Then 9-10-64 to 8-10-58. A goal the difference. Tony Bahagia, high kick in towards full forward. Goodness me, there's so many players down there, it's unreal. Judge, a chance, fell over. Play on. Now Mario Turco, danger man. Hooks with the right boot. Oh, 1 point.
Ooh, overly close.
That makes it 7 points the difference. Long quarter, 29 minutes gone so far. And Mario Turco sort of carrying on where he left off from last week, isn't he?
Yes, he's got the speed and the dash to break away from the packs. And he can ride the bumps, Mario Turco. He's kicked 2 goals already, so we could expect a few more from him, I would feel. The Kavanagh kick again is a good one. He looks for Mick Moylan versus Purser. Purser, one-hand spectacular mark.
Oh dear.
Held by the arm, though, says John Morris, but it wouldn't matter. He made position well. Purser now drives it long, looking for Jim Sewell. Sewell's in the sit from McKay. Sewell, a high flyer, ball at ground. Look at him bursting and recovering his own tap. His ball is caught, held to him. And so John Morris on your screen, who's umpiring his first grand final, bounces down. McKay takes the knock. Here's Turco again, pushed out of the way. Sims is in there. Turco back again. Where do I go? Straight to Taylor. Taylor made us the angle, but in haste. And have a look at it. We've got 3 players down.
Jimmy Sewell's down.
Jimmy Sewell is down. So too was Cornell. And that point going on the board just edges East Fremantle a little further ahead. And we're well into the time-on period of the second quarter. There must be only seconds left to play.
Tony Bahagia's had 17 kicks, 4 marks and 5 hand passes. Not a bad effort.
Reeve, courage. In comes Kerr, caught. Lester Smith had him. Takes the free.
Good tackle by Lester Smith. He's on that left half forward flank. Jim Sewell limping at the... Oh, no, Jim Sewell's in a lot of trouble. Stephen Michael, good mark. Sewell went in to try and contest that ball, and I reckon Jimmy Sewell will be coming off the ground in a minute. As South Fremantle with great play work it out to Rod Barrett. Barrett up towards the centre half forward position. No mark. Ball running free. Chance there for Cormac. In goes Rioli. He's caught. Side steps, back steps, holding the ball. And an East Fremantle free kick. To whom will it go? Dobson, number 11. He's off. Oh, kick smothered. Bad play, Dobson. Moyle caught. Dobson with the pace to recover, but he falls over. Gives it to the reliable Doug Green. And my word, how important it is to have that sort of experience there. Green's kick up towards Sewell. He's edged out. Taylor goes in and bumps Michael away. Finally, Bahagia comes out with it to Judge. Judge, a high kick. And he definitely hasn't got his kicking boots on today. I don't think he's scored a goal, has he? No, he hasn't, but a lot of points he's been kicking.
Well, that makes it 9 points the difference, and I repeat, I have never seen the scoreboard clock go over the orange passage for time on, but they could well do it at the moment as Lester Smith has a chance to put East into attack. The chip is on to Taylor, hot under the hammer by Michael, and that's a 15-metre penalty.
Bet it's not.
Tony Morley coming in awful late, and listen to the crowd telling umpire John Morris what he should have done.
Yeah, so is Turco.
Should he ever have done it?
Rolly Dorr doesn't agree with it, but now let's wait on the Carnamah kid here.
He'll kick this one, mate. He's run and taken 3 steps.
Time on 3 steps, says Steve Marsh.
No, he hasn't.
Again, he's pulled his kick. Straightening back with a breeze. And a goal is on the board for the Blue and Whites. On the siren, a goal is on the board for the Blue and Whites. They consolidate their lead. Every East Fremantle player has stood in acclamation of that goal, and East Fremantle at half-time lead with a score of 10-13 to South Fremantle's 8 goals 10.
East Fremantle leading 10-13-73 to South's 8-10-58. Let's see what effect the half-time addresses have had. The South's quickly into attack, going to be through the boot of O'Brien. It's a high kick right up towards full forward, going free. What's going to happen? Ball still in play and finally been thumped over the line, and looks like right in the middle of the ground. An East Fremantle player down. Cormac it is. Geez, in a lot of pain. Didn't see what happened. Did anyone see?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad hook from Reeves.
Reeves hooked him, did he? Well, that was very quick.
Well, there's that man again, Mountain, who's taken the mark from a very poor kick out that time by Crouch. He's well within kicking range too, as Paul Mountain, because the breeze is behind him. A poor kick, redeems himself, does Roger Crouch. Oh, it should have been a mark. But going to run of the boot, it's been paid. Ho-ho! First goal on the board for South in the start of the second half.
Yes, well, it started off very, very well. We saw Reeves and McCormack. Reeves just walked away and Cormac just laid, and I can see now that the trainer's called him for a stretcher, and Cormac's coming off the ground on a stretcher. So I don't know.
Amazes me with two umpires how a thing like that goes unnoticed, Steve.
Well, it's a funny thing. I'm not going to say exactly what happened, but I tell you what, if I was Captain Brian Preet, there would be some evening up going on for one particular chap.
Well, Cormac looks like he's in a lot of trouble. I wonder if they'll start the game or wait till they clear him. You know, the doctor's on the ground. Maybe they shouldn't start.
They have started, however. Carter Rioli.
Ball taken there by Stephen Michael. His kick out towards the half-forward flank. Doug Green, Rocklight. Good mark. Well, I don't think they should be playing the game while that man's on the ground.
Well, I'm damn sure they shouldn't.
Right back.
Something wrong with them.
The ball's going. Hang on, the ball's going right back into where the doctor's trying to administer. Look at it. The play is going on. Come on.
Wake up to yourself, Bally.
What are you, John Morris? Stop the game.
Rather. I'll apologise.
Well, Steve Marsh knows what it's all about because he's played 11 grand finals. In fact, Steve, you're 1 in 7, and now it's on. That was the prediction. Cormac hit behind the play, and the blue and whites are showing what it's all about. Peake is in there. Out goes Peake.
He went out.
Now you see that Capes and Morris have got a game on their hands.
No, no big pardons there either.
No, Don Haddo's come on as an emergency, and he's copped that one. And the game is really on. We'll let the picture tell the story.
Let's just sit back and watch the action.
Well, John, in the old days, they used to call the derbies, Wingy Primrose said they were a derby because they were a definite classic of football.
No classic of football out there at the moment, let me tell you.
You couldn't call that a classic. No, you can't.
And look at Cormac coming off the ground. He's a very, very sick and sorry boy, isn't he?
First half of Cormac's was simply brilliant as a link man in the ruck roving division as well. But finally, after that melee, John Morris has the ball and he's going to bounce it down just inside the centre-half forward position, favouring the blue and whites, who are kicking to the right of your screen. 10-13 plays 9-11. 3 minutes have gone in the second half.
Robbie Johnson on the ground now for East Fremantle, and he's picking up Dale Reeves, the man that everybody's been talking about. Waiting on the bounce down. There it is. Stephen Michael gets the tap. Let's wait and see what happens. Michael with the ball again. Oh, in they go. No big pardons at the moment. Ball coming out to Dale Reeves. Listen to the crowd booing him.
And have a look at Reeves looking everywhere.
Yeah.
Looks like a jet pilot being stung by Messerschmitts.
Looking around to see who's coming in from where. Ball up towards the half-forward line. In goes Peake. Through comes Bahaja. Good hand pass to Stephen Green. Now it's on with Moylan and that behind the play. Moyle goes in as well. And they're punching too. There's no players stopped, or has it? Taylor runs on. No, they've stopped the game. You really shouldn't worry about playing on further up the ground there, Kenny Judge. And I'd say the umpires would want to take a very, very firm control of this little lot, let me tell you. Carter's absolutely done his block at the moment. He's running around like a madman.
Well, there's no worry for control. Ross Capes has umpired 199 league games. He's had 7 grand finals in a row, so Capes will know what to do about it. But this is John Morris's first grand final, Steve. What do you think of that result?
Yes, well, I don't know. Casey decided to bring it all the way back, but it's definitely getting out of hand. This is not getting a game of football match at all at the moment.
Forward line, Carter. In comes his opponent, and Carter. Noel Carter with a left foot snap. Cleared out there by Peake. Back pocket. Nowhere to go, though. He's going to be met by Morley. Finally drives the ball up to the dead flank with Anthony Leeds. Chipping into Cornell. He's got the long sleeves for South. He can blaze away and does into the forward line where it's all East Fremantle and Carter again. This is Graham Carter for East Fremantle. He's tackled heavily by Haddo.
He's giving him all of the ball.
Over the line.
Look where he is.
And And holding the ball is the decision, and there's some amazing decisions being made at the moment by both umpires.
I thought he was over the line when he
Well,
tackled
the
him.
ball's never dead, I believe, John. They can give a free kick anywhere they like, and there's one decision which they have.
Well, Don Haddo, as you can see on your screen, has only played 2 league games this year, but he's the only player on the field today who was for South, that is, who was a member of the winning 1970 Grand Final team.
Got a nice old cut over his eye too.
Yeah, 151 league games to Haddo, and can he bring up a miraculous goal? No, he can't. Right across the goal. It's been marked by Moylan, and now they get a chance to shoot at a very acute angle from the other side. Mick Moylan, ex-Claremont footballer, strong ruckman, has been awarded. The ball is over the line of the full, and now it's East Fremantle's turn to get the ball out of the dead pocket.
There's Carrot too to kick the ball in towards the centre of the ground. Oh, Stephen Michael comes in. Stephen Green rode the bump well though. A little bit of headhunting going on at the moment. Joe McKay not having a good day at centre half back. Got a long kick up towards half forward. Brian Peake camped underneath it. Oh, goodness me.
Well, now, that's the sort of thing now.
Hopeless. Absolutely
It's all very
hopeless.
well to give 15 yards, eh?
Yeah.
It's all very well.
Well, John Rogers asked, I wonder what Brownie's pep talk was going to be all about. The picture's telling its story as Peake comes out to the grandstand wing, finds Sewell. Sewell is checked by Rioli on the screen. Now Jim Sewell looks for Leeds at centre half forward. That check earned 15-metre penalty. The umpires will have to gain control. Up to Judge is the kick. Simon Outhwaite in front. Played a great defence game, Simon Outhwaite. Centre half forward for East Fremantle the ball. And finally, John Morris will bounce down, only 60 metres out from goal, favouring East Fremantle. Purser versus Rioli.
Stephen Michael with the ball. Brian Peake coming across. Haddo takes it. Play on the call. Ron Haddo making his presence felt. That's a big kick up towards Moylan. Moylan in front, or Moylan behind. Can't take the ball. Running free. Chance for Vagona. What's he going to do with it? Benny Vagona can't or won't pick the thing up. And Ross Capes is
Better give one.
Somebody was being held with not in possession of the ball, and the kick going the way of Benny Vagona.
Well, I
The
thought
score: East Fremantle 10-13-73, South 9-11-65. A goal here would be very handy for the red and whites. Number 8, Benny Vagona. Goodness, you reckon there hasn't been a little bit of sorting out going on in this third quarter? As the Vagona kick is on the way, and it's come back with a breeze, and it's through for a goal. That's South's 10th.
yes, it's Benny Vagona's 3rd goal, and he did it well, irrespective of what we say about umpires' decisions. He got it, he put it through. So that's about the only good part of football we've seen in this 7 minutes of play. The rest has been nothing but just fisticuffs.
Well, they talk about history repeating itself, Steve. In the 54 grand final, which was a derby, Smokey Woods was the umpire, a Fremantle identity. And, of course, Ross Capes, who bounced the ball, is also a Fremantle identity. Centre of the ground, Shark by Mountain. Comes out to the grandstand wing. Reeves under the ball, but he has a look. He has to. In comes Lacroix, shepherded by Haddo is clever. There's Reeves, gets the boost from the crowd. Bauskas can't hold it, but has been paid the mark.
No, he's not.
No interference to Dobson. Now, Mal Dobson, the diminutive back pocket player, who took some time to get 100 games up last year, but has never missed a game so far this year, comes out to the grandstand wing. Joe McKay with a sit, punched away by Sewell. In comes Robbie Johnson, and finally over the line. It's good to see Robbie Johnson getting a game in this derby because his father played in the 1954 derby.
Stephen Michael, great play, taking clean possession. A high kick in towards the centre of the ground. Thumped away from Morley. Coming through Cornell, courage to Carter. Here's danger. Carter's kick. Oh, it's long, long, and has it been touched? Yes, it has. Wow. What a game of football we're seeing here at the moment. 9 minutes gone in the third quarter. East Fremantle leading 10-13-73. South's coming back at them 10-12-72.
It's very hard to get any system into the play at the moment because both sides appear a little bit rattled at the moment. Stephen Michael in behind Purser, tapped down as Shark by Bahaja. This is Mick Moylan with eyes on the ball. Finally Sewell gets the run, shepherded off though. Look at that, 3 blue and whites to 1 South, and yet it's all South. Courage Rioli, under the pack it's Morris Rioli, and there'll be a bounce down right in front of our commentary position. Well, Stephen Michael's had 10 kicks so far, but Bahaja has been the star with 18. Tapped by Purser to Green, now to John Sims. Doesn't kick the ball too well, but he's been bundled out of the way, and where the ball landed, there'll be a free. Tony Bahagia, number 2 on your screen, will be the fellow to take it. The lead is quickly on to Jim Sewell. He's on his own, takes the mark. Well, suddenly I mentioned both sides being rattled. The back line is south are rattled at the moment as the ball goes up into the centre-half forward position and Robbie Johnson is marked. Percy Johnson was telling me that he was the second best player in the field in the 1954 Grand Final. Will Robbie Johnson do the same? Ball out to Peake, centre-half forward. He's hot under the hammer. Out comes Ross Kerr. In comes Carrot to Peake, is clever. Into centre-half forward. Races on where Thompson is in the van. So too was Joe McKay. And a well-earned point goes on the board to the Blue and Whites. Well, we're at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter, John, and only 3 points are separating both sides.
Yeah, it's a close game, all right, Arthur. As a kick-in is going very close towards the boundary line and, in fact, is over. Kavanagh didn't kick that one in too well at all, and Johnny Sims, there he is, number 3, will take the kick back into play for East Fremantle. Putting a lot of pressure on at the moment. 2 points the difference, 10-12 to 10-14. The 10 minutes gone in this exciting third quarter of play. Robbie Johnson there, Dale Reeves right on his hammer as the Sims kick is going into that right full forward pocket. Big pack up, Bahagia can't mark. Tony Bahagia with possession of the ball. Holding the ball is a decision. And the kick going the way of Noel Carter. Carter left foot kick, that's dangerously close to the boundary line and in fact is over.
Well, the panic stations are on.
Stephen Green with the ball, going towards the centre where Brian Peake takes it.
Yes, Brian Peake, that should be a 15-metre penalty. But no, play allowed to go on, and Peake's penetrating kick goes up to the Jim Sewell area. Look at the fly of Sewell, high above the pack. Carter held without possession, play allowed to go on. Robbie Johnson, the new man on, is bumped out of the way vigorously by Carter. Ball still in play, Bahagia shovels it further afield. And that's just how hard it is to get a kick in this Derby Grand Final of 79. Well, 74 points plays 72. Who will be WA's Premier Club for 79? We'll know in about a quarter and a half. Stephen Michael in front. Robbie Johnson sharks the ball cleverly. Centre half forward, Judge too late. And another point going onto the board for the Blue and Whites. Steve, would you say that this breeze is favouring any one end?
It's coming from the Fremantle pocket down to the Subiaco pocket, but it is favouring if you use the scoreboard flag.
Brian Peake cleverly spoiled that one away from Cornell. Cornell going to have to fight to try and get the ball back. What's the decision? None. As Lester Smith trips over Cornell, as the umpire's going to bounce a ball, which he does. Carter a good tap. Lester Smith, ball free. Mountain a good hand pass. Now South are off through Morley. Morley up towards the right half forward flank. Dobson chops that one off. Can't pick it up, but he does now with courage. Nobody at all to help him.
Good decision.
It comes back out to Tony Morley. He goes up towards Haddo, and Haddo in front of a strangely quiet Peter LaCroix, but what's happening?
Dobson was caught around the ankles, and the tip's going right back to the scoreboard, John.
Oh, right. I was following the play, so I didn't see that. So Dobson with the ball underneath the scoreboard wing.
Yes, well, we've got a record crowd here today, and the players are finding it difficult to hear the whistle. Dobson goes up to the half-forward flank, where there's a pack of players bursting through as Taylor, but the interference has been spotted to South on this occasion, and the kick will be taken by Paul Mountain, half-back flank.
Paul Mountain's high kick up the right centre wing. Big pack in the air. Haddo nearly took a great mark. Now the hand pass comes out to Rioli. There he goes. LaCroix can't take hold of him. Well done, Maurice Rioli. Just picked his way through 4 or 5 East Fremantle defenders. The kick's on the way towards full forward. Is anybody going to touch it before it goes through? Roger crouches. Dear oh dear.
Yes,
what
good.
A game of football, eh?
A good play by Rioli then.
Yes, it was. So we find now that at the 14-minute mark, the score South's 10-13-73, East Fremantle 10-15-75. As the ball's taken by Robbie Johnson out towards left centre wing, towards Lester Smith, who marks.
Yes, right in front of the scoreboard. 75 plays 73 points. Geez, off to half the crowd.
What was that for?
And now holding the man as the decision.
Hold the man.
Hell, there's no reason why the players are rattled. The umpires aren't quite sure what's happening, but Lester Smith is. Look at that bypass as he penetrates the forward line. He looks for Kenny Judge. Back up by Kavanagh is clever. Ken Judge gets a dream run through. Can't handle the ball, however. And over the line again. Well, there's a section over the fence of the large crowd, all with red and white or blue and white beanies. 80% of the crowd would be Fremantle today. Shoveled out by Moylan to Mountain. And again over the line. Is that a penalty free?
Yep.
Yep, says John Rogers.
Mario Turco.
And so the free will be taken on the outer side of the ground by Tony Bahagia. His 100th game today, Tony Bahagia, and what a game he's putting in. It's his 20th kick.
Not a good
right
one.
into the man. He wants his 21st kick, does Tony. Carter sprawls, play on, comes out with the ball, Noel Carter. Oh, he's clever. Captain courageous. This is Lester Smith from behind in the long sleeves, over Benny Bavgona. Picked up by Carter. Lester Smith bursting through, chopped off. Now it's Johnson with a chance. Shovels it back to Lester Smith. That's clever football. Marked very, very quickly by Taylor, and he's been caught. Away goes Kerr, right on the outer side, and his clearing kick goes into the centre of the ground. Behind is Green, in front is Moyle. Green shovels the ball further, picked up by Carrot, breaks the centre. The pace is fantastic. Bahagia takes the mark. Play on is the decision. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, Tony Bahagia, what courage. Shovels it to Taylor. Taylor made for this angle is Kevin Taylor, and bangs it through. Steve, there's no doubt about Kevin Taylor. He's a butcher by trade, but he certainly carved his name into the history of record books this year by kicking 94 goals to break the Australian record for a rover, and now he's chasing 100 today.
That's a wonderful effort by him, and as you say, I don't know so much about the butchering, but his ability as a footballer. I remember 3 years ago, John Todd made the statement that this will be a second Barry Cable. Well, he hasn't got to that limit yet, but by heavens, he's doing a great job today.
Well, a good goal to East Fremantle. And there's a free kick going the way of Graham Carter in the centre of the ground. He gave it off to Robbie Johnson, who was tackled high but broke it. Johnson's kick up towards half forward. Thompson, who's been quiet. Ball to the ground. Judge, where's he been all day too? Judge blazes away towards full forward and has definitely not got his kicking boots on. Well, I guess Claremont supporters are asking themselves why he couldn't have kicked like that last week. But yeah, so East Fremantle doing all the attacking at the moment, Steve.
That's about his 4th point up to date, Kenny Judge, and just getting the ball on the swing instead of straightening up.
Yeah, Joe McKay to kick in. Good one too, almost into the centre. Stephen Green up, or 2 East Fremantle players spoil each other then. Stephen Green able to recover. Carter, what's he going to do with it? Oh, good hand pass, gave it off to Barrett. He's caught. Barrett further afield to a teammate there, and O'Brien. O'Brien to Haddo. Boo, screams the crowd. Out comes Bauskas. Turned his chest away from the ball, which he shouldn't have done. All responsibility resting on Stephen Michael. He's dumped. Now Benny Vagona in a 2-1 situation. He also is dumped. And Merv Carrot able to clear with ease, and well played the East Fremantle defence. Out towards Lester Smith. Bumped away from him. Chance for Moyle now. He's well caught. Play on the umpire calls. Is swooped on by Morley. Morley's long kick right in towards Bauskas, and it's still in play. Don Haddo can score and has hit. It's a goal. Don Haddo raising his hands in exultation, but a very good goal to them, Steve.
Yes, well, that was bad play. Roger Crouch was left all on his own here to do all the work. There was no one within cooey of him. In fact, I'm still looking for the back pocket players. Dobson was OK, fair enough. He was chasing Vagona. But Purser was in the hands of the trainer. Now, what a wonderful time to be in the hands of a trainer when they're attacking.
Well, 18 minutes have gone in the 3rd quarter, and only 3 points separate both these champion sides, putting on a real spectacle of Australian football. The tap by Moore and the shark by Mountain. Centre half forward. Green, long arms of Green. In comes Mountain again. That was O'Brien, and now it's Mountain. Lines them up. But that's what football's all about in grand final atmosphere. I remember talking to Benny Vagona in an interview, and I said, what was the difference between the early rounds and the second semi-final? He said, oh, I had to think faster and run faster. And of course, in their haste, there's been a lot of miss kicks. There's another one. Shark by Lacroix at centre half back, and East Fremantle weave it out of trouble.
Lacroix into the centre of the ground where Carrot takes it, playing a good game. Out towards Jim Sewell, bumped away from him by Joe McKay. McKay hooks the ball. Tony Bahagia in the van. And what happened? It's gone out of bounds on the full. Yes, there's Tony Bahagia going to take the kick. He's had 20 kicks, as a matter of fact. Brian Peake 15, Taylor 11, Rioli, Stephen Green and Lester Smith 10 apiece. Yes. That kick from Tony Bahagia is a shocker.
Yeah.
And it's gone out too, Steve.
Yes, definitely wasting time, isn't it?
Yep. Hand pass off to Mick Moylan from Joe McKay. Moylan's wobbly kick into the centre. Moyle traps it well. Can't get through with it. Doug Green leaves it behind. Don't know how he was caught for a trip, but he was. And Doug Green at the centre half back to take the kick.
There he is, the captain of last year. Ex-training or training farmer. Hyder Thompson, unsighted, taps it down. In come the runners for East Fremantle. Sharked away to Sims, half forward flank. He's got the run of the ball on. His hammers Barrett all over him. Play on as Johnson sharks the ball. And the smothering and the defence of South Fremantle has been at a light today. That was Kavanagh throwing his hands at the boot. Desperation is what you need in grand finals, and South are doing just that in the back line. Moylan opposed to Thompson. Nick Moylan gets the big prodigious tap, still in play, taken by Johnson again, but he's been pushed over the line, and there'll be another throw in on the right half forward flank favouring East Fremantle. There's a throw in, and again it's Thompson who's come down from the forward line opposed to Moylan. Again it's Moylan who gets the knock. Rioli, where do I go? Again, over the line of the full, and again a penalty free will be taken.
Indicative of the pressure that players are putting each other under at the moment. 2 points the difference, 11-16-82 East Fremantle, South's 11-14-80, 20 minutes gone in the third quarter. There's Stephen Green with the ball, he's caught, now he's not. Green's kicking towards the full forward area, everybody stays down, Moylan takes the mark. Quickly off to Don Haddo, he goes around into the centre of the ground. Brian Peake a chance and takes a good mark.
Oh, well, we mentioned he plays like a tank. Look at the strength. He shoves it out to Green. Green now hasn't got the distance in his kick. Last line of defence is Carter. Out to Haddo. Head down, burrows through his Courage. Stacks on the mill, 15 metres out from goal. And finally, with arms outstretched, Ross Cape says, let me have it.
And Cape will bounce down, as Arthur told you, about 15 metres out from goal. Jim Sewell tries to take clean possession, but can't. Haddo's in there again, number 9. And it'll be thrown in alongside the East Fremantle right-hand point post. Moylan, posed by Thompson, cleared by McKay. Setting himself underneath it there is number 26, Carter. And Carter takes it quickly up to Green. Green, a bullet-like pass to Thompson and finds him. Well, Tomo kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. He's been unsighted since then. Can he bring up East Fremantle's 12th and his own 3rd? One of the ones that he scored in the first quarter was from a similar position to this, and he has a tendency to guide it off to the left-hand goalpost and let the breeze bring it back. Let's see if he does the same thing this time. Waiting on him. There he goes, running away. There it is. Oh, good kick. Exactly what we said would happen.
Yes, well, that could be the nail in the coffin for South Fremantle, but it's still a long way to go. But I feel if South Fremantle got to keep in this game, they have to be at least 4 to 5 goals in front of the changeover. Well, at the moment, they're 8 points behind, and they don't look like getting any closer to East Fremantle. The only time they did get close is when all the hurly-burly was going around, and they did attack it.
Graham Carter in front, one of the 2 first-year plays for East Fremantle in the grand final. Ball up to the half-forward flank. Shark play, Simon Outhwaite. Geez, played well on the back line. Look at the dash. Holt running with the ball, says all the crowd. That's not the South Fremantle supporters, however.
A little bit too much dash on that occasion.
And, yes, he couldn't get balance. He was coming through that fast, so Jimmy Sewell will take the free for East Fremantle. Wobbly old spiral punt kick goes right deep into the forward line, but there's again been an infringement. Umpire Morris saying that he was in the wrong position to take that kick, and so there'll be another kick taken into play.
Now giving it to Turco, are they?
So it's Mario Turco who should be taking the kick. Actually, Turco can probably kick into this breeze a little bit further than Sewell because he knows his limitations. Jim Sewell's inclined to over-kick. Turco with the ball. It's a magnificent spiral punt kick. Thompson's in the van. So too is McKay. Punched away. Punched away. It's good defensive play. And now the ball will be thrown in the left forward pocket, favouring the blue and whites. 12-16 plays 11-14. 8 points the difference. Only about 2 minutes left of this third quarter.
Joe McKay gets the tap. Mario Turco there, so's Tony Bahagia. Thompson with the ball. Thompson a right foot snapshot, but has been marked there by Kavanagh. Off he goes. Wobbly sort of a kick. You'd think he was picking him out. Dead set you would. That went straight to Graham Carter. He gave it off to Bomber Peake. Bomber Peake lines up and has missed on the full. Well, good forward play by East Fremantle, but not a good result as far as Brian Peake was concerned. I'm sure he would have liked that one to have been a few degrees further to the left. As once again, Joe McKay to clear in. Punch from behind by Carter. Reeves just left that one. Sims a chance. Now Reeves takes it with the left boot. Good pass too, right on the chest of O'Brien. He in turn to Rioli. Rioli unloads a bomb in towards centre half forward. Ball running free. Bauskas threads his way through nicely. Can't get Boot the ball. Paul Mountain a chance. He will score from there, will Paul Mountain. Goal on the way for South Fremantle. Good play.
Very good play, John Rogers. There's no doubt about that. He did manoeuvre. He sold a dummy twice to the East Fremantle defenders and just made sure, steadied up and put it straight through. Now there's only 2 points of difference. There's not that much in it. But I would say with the Breeze going across the ground, it's anybody's game.
Yes, but if you have to pick a winner, you might just go for history, because a lot of coaches have won a premiership at their first attempt. Sheedy did it, Bunton did it, Atwell, Farmer, Hassan Mann, Ross Smith, the Subi, if you can remember that one. Campbell, Cable, our own Steve Marsh have all done it at their first attempt. So on history, Brad Smith must have a chance of being a winning premiership coach at his first attempt.
Ball
Stephen Green.
Center. Stephen Green with the ball. Joe McKay a long way down. Good smother by Green. Tries to keep Joe McKay. Ball running free at the moment. Chance for Haddo. What's he going to do? Good play, Don Haddo. Whips it in towards the centre of the ground. Paul Mountain. Mountain off again. Little undecided. Now gets the hand pass to Rioli. Danger. Rioli's kick, a wobbly sort of a thing towards the centre half forward position. Clean bowling everyone. Dobson, Vigona. What's going to happen? Dobson with the ball. He leaves it. Carrot. Vigona again. Finally switched on by Purser. Oh, Purser dangerously across the ground, but effective. And that's a shocking kick from Crouch right into the arms of Haddo. Didn't even look.
Well, hasn't Don Haddo made his presence felt? That was experience. He stayed a kick behind the play, and he was the only man that Crouch could kick to. But he's a long way out, 75 metres in fact. And there's the strain telling on the Don Haddo face, because he's only played 2 league games this year. I said 70 metres out, but it's a beautiful spiral punt kick right in the goal square. Moylan with the set. Green waits for the crumbs. Dobson. Oh, hope it says Morley, and puts it through. South have hit the front. For the first time in the match, Steve, South have hit the front.
Well, I don't know what Mel Dobson was thinking of then, but he had the ball in his control. There's no doubt about it. He could have just broken away with it, and he tapped it straight to Tony Morley. Well, what a bloke to give it to, of all people. But there you are. It goes to show that these games are never over until the final bell, and we've got a long way to go yet.
We sure have. 26 minutes gone, 27 minutes gone. Chance for South again. Mountain falling back there, Lester Smith. Off he goes, out towards the right centre wing. The kick will go. Over the wing, looking there for Taylor. He's in front and held it long enough to take the mark. Kickett's on the ground for East Fremantle as well. Kevin Taylor's kicked 4 goals. Taylor's kick up towards Sewell. Picked him out nicely too. Jim Sewell, a lot of interference, and will take a kick. Oh, they've called a play on. Mario Turco's left foot snapshot's wide, or what's going to happen? No, Jim Sewell's going to get the kick.
Paid a mark.
Paid a mark. I thought he did.
Yeah, well, Sewell will take the kick, and the interesting thing is that we're at time on in the 3rd quarter, and East Fremantle kicked a goal on the siren of the 1st quarter to consolidate their position. They were a goal behind, and then in the 2nd quarter they kicked a goal on the siren again to consolidate a lead. Well, can they do it again in the 3rd quarter?
We'll know in a second. Jim Sewell coming in. Oh, he hooked that one a little badly. It's straightening up, but not in time, and in fact hit the point post, so it's out on the full. No score. It remains on 92 to 88. 28 minutes gone in this exciting 3rd quarter of play.
There's 4 points South Fremantle leading by. Kavanagh kick is a long one out to the flank. Carrot from behind. Stephen Michael, new champion, robs the opposition of the ball. Running well for Vigona. Here comes Dobson again, who shepherds for Peake. Oh, got that. Graham Well says Peake. He's squaring up. Picked up by Vigona. Shoveled out where it's been sharked by Mario Turco. Carter intercepts. The captain Carter holding the ball, says the crowd. And on this occasion, John Morris agrees. See, we've got some rough and tough and fast stuff here in the closing seconds of this 3rd quarter. Can East Fremantle hit the front? Yes, they can, says Lester Smith. I'll show you how to do it. As he marks about 70 metres out from goal. But he'll have to hurry up. The siren's about to go. Into the full forward area. Thompson with a set this time. Punched away by Kavanagh for South was clever. Races on. Judge or Taylor. Hot on their hammer is Kerr. Taylor now can't stand up. All over Kerr. In comes Kickett, a new fresh man. Taylor now breaking the pack. That's holding the ball. And the new rule goes in favour of Rod Barrett, the South Fremantle defender. He's certainly playing Taylor very close today, and Barrett's putting in an exceptional game.
Barrett with the ball on the left half-back flank. Wobbly kick. Kickett a chance. No, can't take the mark. Ball running free. 38's O'Brien to Haddo. Breaks the tackle well to Carter. Carter back to O'Brien. Good play. Back to Mountain now. South's in all sorts of trouble, but Mountain does it well. And Rioli takes the mark. Off he goes, 49. Boris Rioli unloads a big bomb up towards Moylan. Bumped away from him. Whoops, Fagona a chance. Moylan still a chance. It's through Carter's Crouch. Good tackle. Oh, Ray Bauskas a top tackle
lucky,
that one. Let me tell you, good tackle. He's kicked 3 goals, has Ray Bauskas, and now at the 31-minute mark, he can bring up South Fremantle's 14th and his own 4th. The distance won't worry him. Under normal circumstances, the accuracy wouldn't either. Let's see what the much maligned full forward from South Fremantle can do. A Bauskas kick is on the way. The flags wave and the goal umpire signals a big score.
Yes, 4 goals to Ray Bauskas. He's done it very, very well today. And, of course, with his tackle in that particular instance there was true. Crouch had no opportunity at all what to get rid of it, but that's the way the rule lays, and he made no mistake. Now, South Fremantle have got the opportunities. There's 10 points the difference. I suppose it'll be a 2-goal or 3-goal breeze. Now it's up to East Fremantle to keep them out for the rest of the quarter.
So the South Fremantle's turn to kick the goal in the time-on period. Carter opposed to Stephen Michael. Carter gets the thump. It's been sharked by Rioli again in the centre. He's been a force in the pivot. Out comes Dobson, taps it cleverly for Green. East Fremantle now in attack. Out to the outer, Cornell in the long sleeves for South. He overruns the ball. Sharked well by Lester Smith. Lester Smith goes inboard, looking for the centre-half forward lead of Sewell with a set. Great leap, sharked by Taylor. Throwing the ball away is stupid football, but he recovers well. Sees the little chip in there to Johnson, who shepherds for Mario Turco. Look at the dash of Turco. Out in his own is Kickett on the wing. Half-forward flank. Kickett bypasses, lines up the goals. Lacks distance. In comes Bahagia. Can't handle it. Caught though is Bahagia. And he gets the free. Oh!
Goodness me. What for?
Well, he was caught before he got the mark there, John Rogers. He was trying to get stretched another 6 inches. And there's not much of him, but he was being held.
All right.
And Tony Bahagia, who is 5'6", playing his 100th game today, can bring up a very important goal for the Blue and Whites. This is his 23rd kick for the match. Picture of concentration. Tony Bahagia, right in front, blazes away and has got that needed goal for the Blue and Whites.
Well, fancy having 23 kicks for a match. He's kicked 2 goals. He's been a rover of class, and you've still got about 32 minutes of play left in this game. It just goes to show what sort of a class footballer this boy is. And I tell you what, they want to bring any rovers over from Victoria to play in the State of Origin match. Well, this boy should be #1 in front of the lot of them.
Yeah, agreed. So there's 4 points of difference at the moment at the 34-minute mark in this 3rd quarter. Stephen Michael gets the tap, peeks there. There's the man Bahagia who scored the last goal. Hand pass to Stephen Green. Off go East Fremantle again. Out wide looking for Thompson, who just didn't have the legs to mark that one. Keeps it in cleverly, but now it's gone out of bounds. Boy, oh boy, what a game.
What a game you say, John.
As the siren has gone to end the 3rd quarter of play, South Fremantle with a 4-point lead, 14-14, 98 to East Fremantle's. There it is, 13-16, 94.
Umpire Ross Capes about to bounce the ball. There's a record crowd here at Subiaco today of 52,891. And they're all here today to witness the final 30 minutes of the winter struggle for football supremacy. Who will be WA's premier club for 1979? There's only 4 points separating the sides. South Fremantle lead 14-14 to 13-16. East Fremantle are kicking with the wind to the left of your screen.
Bounce down in the centre. Stephen Michael with clean possession of the ball. Brian Peake running back to take it. He does now. Peake, a left foot kick out towards the left centre wing. Morley there, nearly took a good mark. Mario Turco, Lester Smith, Cornell. What's going to happen? Cornell with the ball. Finally it comes out to Johnson. Johnson up towards left half forward flank. Simon Outhwaite was making ground but couldn't get there in time. Tony Bahagia's had 22 kicks. Peake 17. Stephen Green 15. Rioli 15. Mountain and Taylor both on 13.
Yes, the two 25s. Purser in front. Purser recovers quickly, shovels it to Robbie Johnson. Came on when Cormac was laid out behind the play in the start of the second quarter. Kavanagh versus Thompson in the centre-half forward position. Joe McKay for South lends a hand and has done it admirably today. Long kick out of the outer wing looking for Jeff O'Brien. Bounce favours Lacroix. Coming in very cleverly on the outer side of the ground too. Aiding O'Brien is his teammate, Haddo, and there will be a free on the outer side of the ground. Rod Barrett to take it. There he is on your screen. Not much of him, but the Kwinana school teacher really puts in a long one. Centre-half forward, shepherding by Peake, allows Carrot in. Carrot hot potato, shoves it to nowhere. In comes Dobson, clever. Gives Sewell the lead at centre-half forward. He's got the break on McKay if he can pick it up. Sewell still can't pick it up. Shovels it to the heavily bandaged Johnson. He's playing with a dislocated finger. Kick it half forward flank. Does just start into the full forward area. Judge with the set. In front though, magnificent again with Simon Outhwaite. Play on. Turco blazes away. East Fremantle have hit the front.
Yes, he hit the front all right. It could have easily been a kick to Judgy. Not that I always firmly believe that the player that ducks his head should get the kick, but not Baller kid getting him extra. Johnny Morris in particular has not been given these kicks all day, so you've got to be very, very careful when you duck your head. But Turco, anticipating this to happen, run in, and that puts East Fremantle in front.
Yes, they are. There's the score, 98 to 100. What a fantastic grand final this is going to be. A lot of people had difficulty in selecting a winner in this game, and when you look at the score, 98 to 100 at the 1.5 minute mark in the final quarter, it's easy to understand why. Both sides have thrown everything into this game. There has been no quarter given, and certainly none asked, and we've witnessed a fantastic spectacle of football in front of a record crowd. And there's a nudge right in the middle of the back to Purser, and he'll take the kick for East Fremantle.
Yes, what an athlete this Magumba kid is, Andrew Purser, one of the country recruiting, but Rodney Barrett again. We say there's not much of him. Shovels up from Ross Kerr. Ross Kerr straight down the middle. That's the way South have got to go. Doug Green, man full of experience, has taken the mark.
No, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Interference to Graham Moyle. They say that Purser shepherded in the instance there. Moyle, though, says that doesn't worry me, and with that long kick into the full forward area, punched away by Peake for going to run of the boot. Snapshot goes astray. And another point in this pressure-packed Derby Grand Final goes on the board. 100 points playing 99. 1 point the difference. East Fremantle lead at the 4-minute mark of the final quarter.
Waiting on the kick into play. A good one out towards the left half-back flank. Lester Smith, good mark. Rod Lester Smith didn't play very well in the first semi-final, but by gee, came back with a vengeance.
Oh, heavens
good
above.
panic hand pass. Finally comes out to Green, who's cool to Brian Peake. Peake shows him what to do with the ball. Right up to Jim Sewell at centre half forward. He in turn to Stephen Green. Stephen Green going in short to Taylor. And if Taylor hadn't have marked the ball, Thompson would have. And Kevin Taylor asking for a 15-metre penalty, but 199 games of umpiring, you'd have to be kidding, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
he
think
tried to con him.
He's after the Academy Award for that one, Kevin Taylor.
Well, he's had opportunities to kick that. He only needs one more goal for his 100th, doesn't he? He's had opportunities to kick it. And he's kicked 4 goals, but the 3 deliberate shots he's had have been points. Let's see what happens to this one. That looks a little bit better off the boot. I think he's scored it. Yes, he has. It's through. Well done. And his teammates are reporting him a great effort from Kevin Taylor. 5 goals, and that, in fact, I believe is his 100th goal and a magnificent effort.
Yes, that's his 100th game, but I hope he doesn't stop there because it's very easy to achieve a goal. But what an improved player he is. He won the Prendergast medal last year. That's the fairest and best in the reserves, and now he's come out to be the leading goal kicker of Western Australia. Now he's picked up 100 goals in league football for a Rover. Pretty good, Steve Marsh.
It's a wonderful effort by this player, there's no doubt about it.
Peake, centre half forward to Taylor versus Kerr again. Taylor again! Held off the ball, play on as a decision. Cleared by Kerr. Comes up the grandstand wing. Morley with a sit on Lester Smith. Look at those experience of Morley. Ooh. Can't mark. In comes Carrot. That was clever, Lester Smith to Carrot. Carrot goes into the centre half forward. It's Taylor again. Punched away by Kerr again. Shark by Barrett. He's in everything in the back line at the moment. Number 7, Barrett, shrugs off the tackle. Looks for the leads to Stephen Michael upfield and finds that player. Stephen Michael about to go off, but then holds up play because the lead on to Mountain in the centre of the ground, who accepts the pass. Paul Mountain. All the leads have been checked as South zigzag, trying to score up into the breeze. Moyle's got away from Green and Marks. Well, South have got possession of the ball. They haven't gained a lot of distance, but at least they are attacking. The ball is just inside right centre wing. Centre half forward leaders on from Mick Moylan. Punched away cleverly by Carter. This is Mountain coming in. O'Brien it is. Screws the ball. And good back pocket play by Dobson. Finds him on his own.
Desperate back pocket play, but not intelligent clearing of the ball. That was silly play by Dobson. Why'd he do that? As Mountain comes in, can't control it. Carter couldn't, and it's out of bounds right alongside South's point post, Steve.
Well, I think if Pookie had to move to get the ball, and the kick was all right, John, but he anticipated one of his teammates were going to take it.
All right, throw in. Packing up. Carter on the bottom of the pack. Mountain a chance again. Bauskas! Great play, Ray Bauskas. He's kicked 1 goal in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 1 in the third.
7.
And I'd say at this stage he looks like bringing up his 5th. 1 in the fourth quarter. There's 5 minutes gone. This would give South the lead by 5 points, this goal. The Bauskas kick looks good, and that's what's happened. 5 points in front, go South.
Yes, well, you can take in consideration that when you're playing in a grand final, you take a ball, a marker ball in the 10-yard square in the opposition end of the ground, and you give a short kick. That's ridiculous. Now, Mal Dobson, I can guarantee he'd be kicking himself, because all he had to do, he could have kicked the ball down to the edge of the square and the diamond there.
Well, the game is really on.
I call
15-16 plays 15-15. 1 point the difference. Purser versus Stephen Michael, who's trying to do his effort from last week. Caught holding the ball, as the decision say, the crowd, but holding the man, says umpire Morris, and Stephen Michael gets on with it. Out to the right half forward flank. Tussler's on out there between Haddo and the East Fremantle defender. Crouch shovels it out to Doug Green. He's got a long kick and plenty of experience. Goes straight down the centre of the ground. Look at this, David Goliath. Michael versus Turco. Out comes Cornell with the ball in the long sleeves for South. Stacks on the mill right in front of the umpire Capes. Taylor clever. Stephen Green on his own. Caught. Into centre half forward. Kerr versus Bahagia. In comes Big Tomo to lend a hand. That's a trip. Play on, says Capes, because Johnson has the ball in his command. Kicks it wide and long. Looks for Bahagia. He's got the run of the ball.
Relayed free kick.
Interference to Johnson. He was bowled over very heavily by Reeves after he made that kick. And so Bahagia takes the free where the ball landed. And this is dangerous for the Southerners. Tony Bahagia's put in a bottler of a game. He's had 23 kicks. He's already kicked 2 goals. And in his 100th game, can he make it 3 for the Blue and Whites? 35 metres out is Tony Bahagia. Drop punt is on its way. Inaccuracy, but it's been marked on the line. Play on does Lester Smith. That was silly. Stacks on the mill. And as you can see on your screen...
What a mistake.
Yeah.
Thompson right in front of him.
Yeah.
Well, Cape's bouncing down. Thompson taps again. Again, there's Stacks on the mill. And the only 2 players playing in long sleeves in this very fine day of football here are Judge, as you can see, and Lester Smith for the Blue and Whites. The other fellow, Cornell for South. So the 3 long sleeves are all together.
Bounce down. Ball running free. Reeves to clear. Chance for Stephen Green. He's caught. Hand pass to Taylor. Here's danger. Taylor lines him up. I tell you what. Oh, well kicked, Kevin Taylor.
Kick.
What a brilliant goal.
Wonderful kick, Kevin Taylor. Well, there's no doubt about it. When you have a look at the East Fremantle side, a lot of people, including myself, predicted the goal potential of kickers as far as South East Fremantle were concerned around their forward line. But it's a long way to go yet. The game is not over. South Fremantle, a determined side. I didn't get up top of the Wazza for nothing. And, well, you've still got another 20 minutes of football in front of you.
Yes, and listen to the crowd. The crowd emotion is certainly lifting the performance of the players, especially Kevin Taylor and Peake as he gets a long kick. Looks for Taylor again versus Kerr. Again, Kerr punches away from Taylor. There he is, number 5, and number 19 is Joe McKay. Taylor's bundled out. McKay picks up the crumbs. Kicks to nowhere. It's all East Fremantle. And the man we've been singing high praises for, Tony Bahagia, is marked in front of the scoreboard. The lead at centre half forward. Lester Smith will have to fly with Michael. Gets a bump and all. And the long arms of this very tall wingman for East Fremantle is marked. He was the best first-year player for the Blue and Whites last year, and how he's matured as a footballer. Directly in front, 60 metres out. Will he get the distance? One long sleeve player to the other. We mentioned them a few minutes ago. Lester Smith picks out Judge, who screws on the left foot, and in his haste, has to go back and have another kick because Morris has deemed that he was not allowed to play on. Or do you think he'll get it, Steve?
Well, he hasn't got much...
Wouldn't be much daylight there, would there?
Much daylight there, but he's missed quite a few easy ones, so it could be...
He'll probably get this one then.
Well, the pressure would be on him. I know who I'd be kicking it to. There's a bloke with Turco there, and Cornell had his back turned, but he was too busy. He's going to have a shot himself
He's
anyway.
going to try the banana kick by the look of the way he's holding the ball. That's
yeah,
one that will go like a boomerang. It screws around and hits the post.
Hits the post.
Bad luck.
8 points the difference. 10 minutes have gone in the final quarter, and East Fremantle are leading.
Tony Bahaja's had 23 kicks, Peak 21, Stephen Green 17. They're the leading kick getters at the moment. As the ball is out to O'Brien, out comes back to him. A chance for the speech to Mario Turco. He blazes away towards full forward and kicks it out on the full.
Ian Thompson standing on his own.
Was he? Didn't see him.
Yep.
He's held his arms high in anguish, did Ian Thompson on that occasion.
I don't blame him then. Ball up towards the half-back line. Barrett, a wild sort of a hand pass. Oh, well trapped Morris Rioli. Good play. Play on the umpire calls now. Mario Turco, yet another chance. Caught by Moylan. Long backhand pass to Lacroix. He in turn to Bahaja. Now it's back to Stephen Green. Stephen Green unloads one up towards full forward. Lester Smith in front. Going to be cleared by Souths. Charging out up towards the centre of the ground. Well played. Out towards the right centre wing, where the mark has been taken by Noel Carter.
Yes, kicks it blindly into centre half forward with their own South, but it's all Peter Lacroix. Gee, he's an outstanding first quarter player, but he's been quiet for the second 2 quarters as Peter Lacroix. And with the minutes ticking by, we've got about 20 minutes left of this quarter. It won't be long before this fella's up crayfishing with his father. Centre half forward, McKay versus Sewell. 3 South players. Stephen Michael, who merges with the ball, looks out for Benny Vergona on the half-forward flank, and Vergona doesn't let him down. There he is, the young player who came down from Darwin. He's had 2 seasons with South and has a lot of skill. Looks for Donny Haddo, centre half-forward. Green again. Well, that's experience for you. 175 league games, Doug Green, and he usually stars when the pressure is on. Too far for Sewell. Back up by Kickett. Another Geraldton Country recruit is held without possession. And Graham Kickett's away for the blue and whites.
And doing it well too as he goes up towards Thompson, who dropped what he should have taken. Tomo a long way out from goals now. Hooks it back, and you think he was trying to pick Moylan out. Oh, Moylan dropped what he should have taken. Taylor a chance again. Whoa, sidesteps brilliantly. Here's danger.
Wonderful.
Number 7,
Moylan.
Taylor. What a performance. What a performance.
Well, I don't know what Mick Moylan's thinking of himself at this particular time, but fancy missing the ball like that. Heavens above, that's 7 goals to Taylor, and the closest man to him, of course, as Mick Moylan referring to, has to be the danger man in Kevin Taylor.
Well, those comments by Steve Marsh, who knows what grand finals are all about. Steve, you played in 11 grand finals and you won 7?
Yeah, won 7 of them. I was lucky. Some footballers never ever played in one, but I was playing in a good side.
We're at the 14-minute mark, and East Fremantle are leading now by 2 goals to. No time to relax, though.
No, it's not over yet. I've seen South Fremantle do this before.
Turco to Peak. Peak blazes away centre half forward.
Look at that.
Judge plays on. Has a chance to give it to Thompson. Shoots for goal instead. And brings up 6 points. But what a clash at centre half forward. Judge is hurt.
We'll be all right now. He knows that goal.
We'll have a look at him there.
Brian Peake was down in the centre too.
Well, Ken Judge is a pretty outstanding cricketer. He's played mercantile cricket every summer, and this year he's going to try out for Fremantle Cricket Club, who incidentally, Steve, are the champion cricket club of Western Australia as well. So everything's happening in Fremantle.
Oh, Fremantle, I tell you've got to have a passport to get over the bridge.
And Stephen Green's coming off the ground for East Fremantle.
Johnny Sims.
Sims back on.
125 points, plays 105. 15 minutes have gone in the final quarter here of the 1979 Grand Final.
Well, what a game. Waiting on umpire Ross Capes to get proceedings underway again. What a superb effort that was from Judge. We all thought he'd go back and have a shot at goal, but he didn't. He played on, clashed rather heavily, but the ball went through for a goal. That, in fact, was his first goal for this game.
Yes, his first. 1 goal, 5, I think, John.
Yeah, he has. Ball in the centre. What's going to happen? Free kick going South Fremantle's way. Carter to take it. Noel Carter, right in the centre. Coming round onto the left boot. Maybe that right leg of his is giving him a bit of trouble. Good kick right up towards half forward. Doug Green up. Can't mark. thumped away by Bahagia. Green is in there again. Now it's left to Dobson. They clear it in towards the centre of the ground, and Carter takes yet another mark. He in turn to Rioli. Rioli, oh, that one slid off the side of the boot a bit. Lacroix drops back and takes a good defensive mark.
Yes, on the half-back flank, Peter Lacroix, a one-time state schoolboy footballer, has been an acquisition on the half-back flank for the Blue and Whites all year. Into the centre of the ground, Mario Turco, another state schoolboy footballer starring today. Look at him break the tackle. Gives it to Robbie Johnson, yet another state schoolboy footballer. They all seem to be out there. Looks for Thompson. I've been everywhere, man, says Ian Thompson. Played for East Perth. Played for South Melbourne, back to East Perth, Wanneroo and East Fremantle, and he still comes out with the ball. Over to Johnson in front of the scoreboard flank. Easter not making any mid-ridge. Finally the long kick to Taylor versus Kerr again. Kerr from behind, Taylor the recoverer, the star of the quarter. Look at that Carnamar kick dive in for the ball. Half forward flank still. Quarters Sewell by the feet, play on. Johnny Sims just came on. Look at that. Carpenter by trade, he's got them under the hammer, lines up the big ones and has brought up one solitary point for the Blue and Whites, but points are on the board, and although grand finals are never won until the siren, at the 16-minute mark, East Fremantle look pretty good from here.
Tony Bahagia, 24 kicks, Peak 22, Stephen Green 18 at this stage. And the balls are being souvenired by the crowd at the moment.
Yes, if I was up the back to grab one of these on such a day like today with a record crowd and the two Fremantle sides playing a tremendous game, I think I'll be pinching the ball too, John.
Yeah, good comment, Steve. It's been a fantastic game of football, and it still is. This game is certainly not over. There'll be plenty of time on, I would suggest. And South Fremantle, being the professional side they are, the minute that East Fremantle falter, Arthur, South will gobble them straight up.
Yes, well, they certainly did that in the third quarter of their second semi-final by kicking into the breeze magnificently. Ball to Joe McKay, who's played well at centre-half back. Looks for Graham Moyle, a post to Lacroix. Good spoil by Lacroix. Good pick-up by Graham Moyle. He's got a long kick, and that's no exception. Centre-half forward, Green versus Haddo. Bounce favours Haddo. Out comes finally... who's that come on? It's Delmenico. Gives it to Stephen Michael. In the back pocket, Purser. Play on is the decision. Shovels it out to Lacroix, who's right in the back pocket, or Roger Crouch it was. And Roger Crouch.
Pretty good.
Have a look at the tension and the desperation on this young fellow, who probably is lucky to be in the side because of the injury to Brian Needle. Still, it won't worry Brian Needle if the Blue and Whites take off the flag. Long kick by Crouch. Carter in front. Or Carrot, take your pick. But whichever way it goes, the Blue and Whites have the advantage of the ball.
Carrot to take it. He's got Tony Bahagia loose out on the left centre wing, and that's where the ball has gone. Tony Bahagia, you have to go back a bit, Noel. Bahagia goes in short, looking for the backup of Carrot, who's played quite strongly. Carrot a long kick in towards centre-half forward. Taylor, no one can take the ball. Thumped away by Cornell. Chance for Tony Morley. Morley a little pop pass, looking for O'Brien, and looking for Mountain, I should say, and finding him. Paul Mountain, right centre wing. Tony Bahagia telling all his players to get back into defence, which is a good idea. Doug Green!
Doug Green again.
Great mark. He's played extremely well at centre-half back for a man about whom there was a little doubt as to whether he'd be fit to play. Doug Green up towards left half forward. Moylan, Sewell. No one can take the ball. Mountain can. Good play. Paul Mountain in towards centre-half forward. Delmenico in the van. Thumped away from him, however. A chance for Kickett if he can take possession. He can't. Turco leaves it. In goes Bahagia, slung to the ground by Rioli. Taken by Carter. Carter, the ball now running loose. Cornell caught, breaks the tackle to Delmenico. Back to Cornell, but that was one hand pass too many, Souths, as Kickett charges through to put his side into attack.
Gets one over the ears, but the play-on rule is allowed to go on. Turco, the pace is very fast, shoves it to Geraldton Boy and Jimmy Sewell. Jim Sewell steadies, plenty of leads on, he eludes the lot, looks for Thompson in front of goals. Gee, there was a couple of loose leads for East Fremantle out there wide, but still, penetration is the name of the game, and the yardage was gained by the Jim Sewell kick because there'll be a throw-in the left full forward pocket favouring the Blue and Whites. Let's watch the ruck work. Nick Moylan's in there opposed to Thompson. Long sleeve for his judge. Sims, quick snap, and Kavanagh says thank you and gets on with the game for the Bulldogs.
Kavanagh's kick right out to a nest of East Fremantle players. Look at this, said Steve, as he's left it to Johnson. Johnson running towards the boundary line, but hooks it back in cleverly towards full forward. Moylan comes out, can't mark. Taylor, a chance, but falls over, allows Kavanagh in, and Kavanagh with good use of the ball, puts it straight on the chest there of Kerr. Kerr up towards the wing, but East Fremantle destroying well from behind, and they're playing inspired football. And Souths are going to have to work to get back into the game now. Tony Bahagia, scrambly kick, all South Fremantle. Simon Outhwaite, hand pass to Kerr. Kerr, a high kick up towards the centre of the ground, but it's all East Fremantle again. There's a good mark taken there by Carter.
No, it's Andrew Purser.
Purser it is, yeah.
John, and what a improved ruckman Andrew Purser. He and Carter are the only first-year players playing in this final round today. This grand
They're very
final.
tired boys too.
They all are, aren't they?
Robbie Johnson
Yes.
with the ball, and by golly, his father Percy must be proud. Chips it down to Lacroix, and East Fremantle playing the characteristic short game
Yes.
that made them a famous side in the 40s to the 46ers. The chip on again to Peak.
Well,
And
South's in trouble.
experience is starting to pay off. Experience with Green with 175 games, captain last year, and now Peak, the captain this year, with 161 games. Possession, the name of the game. Accurate foot passing, the name of the game, and that's just what Peak has done. But Mick Moylan in the last line of defence has saved that attack.
Moylan coming out onto the grandstand side of the ground. Lester Smith cleverly from behind. Taylor deep in the left full forward pocket. Oh, good hand pass to Mario Turco, who must score from there and has.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, beautiful play.
Shut the
East
gate.
Fremantle.
Shut the gate. Great work, Mario Turco, but it came off the handball from Kevin Taylor, and these are the two players, or three players, with Judge and Bahagia, who have created the damage in the forward line as far as South Fremantle, East Fremantle, I should say, is concerned.
Well,
The defence, of course, of South Fremantle been put under a lot of pressure through their speed.
Well, they say, Steve, that the mark of a champion is to consistently turn in top performances over a number of years. Well, Green and Peak are doing just that, but it won't be long before they're calling Taylor a champion and Turco too. Centre of the ground, Stephen Michael. There is a champion for South. 77 and 78 Walker medal winner. That's the fairest and best for South. But his kick's gone over the line on the half-forward flank, favouring the Bulldogs. 1918 playing 15-16. 132 points to 106. East Fremantle leading. 23 minutes of the final quarter is gone.
South's into attack. Ball running free at the moment. A chance there for Delmenico, but there's no one to help him. Going in, Tony Bahagia will take a kick. What a great little rover he's been. He's a leading kick getter on the ground. He's kicked 2 goals. And again, it's the East Fremantle Mosquito fleet. Mario Turco with 4, Bahagia 2, and Taylor with 7. That's 11, 13 goals between the three of them, which isn't a bad sort of an effort when East Fremantle have only kicked 19. There's Lester Smith. He's been a good player too on the wing. Lester Smith going towards the centre of the ground. Cornell comes out, leaves the ball behind. That's the Mario Turco I was talking to you about. Play on, Carrot to Peak. Back to Carrot again as South Fremantle players are starting to cramp up. East Fremantle running all over the place at the moment. Jim Sewell right up towards full forward. Simon Outhwaite's not giving up. Ken Judge isn't either. Judge a high kick. Oh, Thompson saying, come down, please come down. Finally the ball does off hands and through for a point. Can South Fremantle get back at the 23.5-minute mark in the final quarter?
Well, John, they say that grand finals are never over until the siren, but I can see Nugget Nugent, a ruckman in the winning 54 side, with a big beaming smile over his face, so I should think that maybe East Fremantle will get over the line. Dale Reeves, listen to that non-appreciation of his efforts, because Cormac was fell behind the play. Champion peaked, another champion Bahagia. Looks for Thompson, quiet today, but he's creative. There he goes, puts the ball onto the boot, does he? Thompson, that's his 4th, and that'll be a sealer for the 79 grand final for sure.
4 goals. Well, I believe that Reeves comes from Victoria, somewhere down over that side, and supposed to have a little bit of experience. He gets hold of the ball and kicks it to one of the best men on the ground in Peak, which is standing on his own with about a 15-metre radius.
Great game. Top game from East Fremantle. They've withstood everything that South Fremantle could throw at them, and they've come back fighting, and they look like carrying out the 1979 flag, because we're at the 24-minute mark, and East Fremantle lead 2019 139 to South's 15-16 106, and it's been a blistering last quarter by East Fremantle. They've kicked 7 goals in this quarter, and South Fremantle have managed just 1. Waiting on the bounce down. 26 is Carter, posed by Moylan. Carter takes clean possession, barges his way through. Lacroix sockers it straight into umpire Capes. Haddo kicks up towards half forward. Players go up. Carter a chance but couldn't mark. Through comes Doug Green. Leaves it to Lester Smith, who's been an absolute star. Lester Smith goes backwards to Peak, and Peak takes it top mark. was a good pressure mark because Tony Morley was coming in at 100 miles an hour then, Arthur.
Yes, well, there's Peak with nowhere to go. The whistle's still blowing, but play goes on. Centre half forward. It's all south. Mick Moylan. Oh, Mick Moylan having a fit of the fidgets today. Recovered by O'Brien, but the game pretty scraggy. Play on though, says umpire Morris. Joe McKay just does that. Looks for Mountain. Kick it. Reeves pushes kick it all over the ear and he gets the free. Well, there's no doubt about this grand final. For 3 quarters it had everything. Pace, high marking, physical clashes, direct kicking and fierce mark tackling. But the game fizzed out a little bit in the closing minutes because East Fremantle, with their little men in control of the ball, have taken charge. Sewell in front of McKay. That's the way it's been played all day. McKay from behind spoiling. Shark by Haddo. Chip passes on at the half-forward flank. Moyle falls over, recovers well. He's caught by Dobson. And that is the way the little men for the Blue and Whites are doing it.
Right,
tough,
desperate
vigorous, as Johnson now in possession. Chips out to the scoreboard wing. Purser behind, no, it was Sewell. This allows Bahaji to shark the pass. Looks for Taylor, and Taylor doesn't let him down. Yes, he does. Kerr again. Well, he's not giving up for the Bulldogs as he passes the ball back up the wing. But now it's Bahaji's turn to have an action replay.
Tony Bahagia played a great game, and look at him going backwards to Johnson, which was good play. Robbie Johnson unloads up towards full forward. Stephen Michael rises high, can't take the ball, very scrambly. Kavanagh just walking Kavanagh at the moment as Sims swoops on it. His high kick towards the right full forward pocket is out on the full. Let's have a look at the score. East Fremantle 2019, 139. South Fremantle 15-16, 106. And we've now been playing some 27 minutes. And Tony Bahagia has hit the magic 30. 30 kicks for the game. And what a superb effort from this East Fremantle rover. He's also kicked 2 goals and has been instrumental in quite a number of others. And as I speak, Steve Marsh, Ron Bucky, the reserve umpire, is getting as much work as the other umpires because the balls are being souvenired all the time. But Simon Outhwaite to kick that one into play.
Yes, it's been marked very quickly on the outer side of the ground by Mountain. He's not giving up either. He's been a runner all year. Gives it to Mick Moylan, coming up the scoreboard flank. But Mick Moylan is not having one of his best days.
Geez, handling's been bad today, hasn't it?
The second semi-final was brilliant, but he's running up and down on one spot today as Mick Moylan. Anyway, the ball's gone out of over the line on the full, and this is Mal Dobson, who will bring the ball back into the play. A delicate pass. It's been intercepted by Stephen Michaels. Into Rioli in the centre. Caught by Kickett. Play on. Dobson again. Centre of the ground. Passes back behind the play to Carrot. Gee, come back from Sunday League, and look at that experience. Lester Smith. Over to Bahagia, centre half forward. He can line them up from here if he wants to. Can Tony Bahagia? He's kicked 2 already. Lines them up. And if the last goal was a sealer, that one is for sure.
Well, that's his 3rd goal. And then look at the crowd. They think the game's over already. I suppose you have 2 or 3 more minutes to go. But great effort by this little fellow. What, 31 kicks, 3 goals. And how many times has the ball from the boot gone to a teammate? I hasn't a guess. I tell you what, he's a wonderful footballer and displayed all the attributes of a great rover this afternoon.
Well, he came into football in 1973, Steve, and I know you'll remember this, but he immediately was the best first-year player for the league side in that year. And over the last 6 years, his courage and his high flying have thrilled the crowds of Western Australia. And today, it's fitting on his 100th game, Tony Bahagia, that he's been able to pick up 3 majors for the Blue and Whites, and he's been able to get 31 kicks, and there's no doubt the best man on the ground today.
Well, they can't restart the game until those kids have got back over the fence, so it's going to be a bit of a late finish because it's, what, 28 minutes gone so far. And Ross Cape's wisely making sure that everybody goes back over the fence. But I think it'd be fair to say that with not much time to go, it's going to be definitely East Fremantle with a blistering last quarter who are going to win this grand final.
Well, John, I just said rather presumptuously that Tony Bahagia is the best man on the ground, but of course there's a Simpson medal at stake. Would you go along with that?
Yes, I'd agree with you at this stage.
Oh, I certainly would. Between he and Brian Peake, I don't know how many kicks Brian Peake has had. I think he's had about 24.
24 or 25. Carter with the ball. Can't do anything with it. Finally, it's left to Reeves. A left foot kick. Sims is going to get there first. Sims with plenty of pace runs away from Barrett, his marksman. And there he is, Tony Bahagia. Goodness me, what a game he's played. 31 kicks we said he's had. Coming up for number 32. It's going to go to a teammate, as has most of them. And Johnson takes the mark on the far side of the ground. He's going to go back to Bahagia, which is good play. Good intelligent play from East Fremantle as Bahagia rifles that one in towards Sewell. Carter to clear. Hand pass out further afield. Now it's Joe McKay with the ball. His wobbly kick goes in towards the centre of the ground, but unfortunately all the fire has gone out of South Fremantle, and it's East Fremantle finishing on strongly.
Yes, as Morley accepts the pass. South are in attack, straight to Haddo. Haddo breaks centre half forward, but Mel Brown must be a worried man, as Brad Smith must be really excited at his first premiership title. Into the full forward area, Lacroix. No, it's Crouch again, who shovels the ball over the line.
Whoops.
Well, there's no doubt about Brad Smith. In his 14 years of league football, he's never missed a final round. And he's been in premiership sides with North Melbourne and East Perth. And now it looks as though he's going to coach a winning premiership for East Fremantle.
Good tap out to Dobson. He in turn gives it off to Carrot, who's been a great half-back flanker. Carrot's kick almost into the centre of the ground. A tired Maurice Rioli after the ball. Joe McKay clears in towards the centre half forward position. Taken there by Moyle. His high kick towards full forward. Everything's leaving Souths now as that one's gone out of bounds on the full. And East Fremantle just playing out time at the 31-minute mark. And you could safely say that the 1979 flag, Arthur Marshall, is theirs.
Yes, I'll go along with that as Crouch just nonchalantly chips the ball into Bahagia, the man of the moment. Look at that tenacity. Recovers well to Crouch. Crouch under pressure. Bauskas, he's played a tremendous game for South. Gives it to Captain Carter, who's manhandled. Neither Bahagia or Carter can clear the ball. And finally, John Morris says, I'll have it. Well, there'll be a bounce down, only 15 metres out from goal, favouring the Southerners. It'd be a fitting thing if South could kick a goal in the closing minutes, because the first 3 quarters was superb football. Mountain onto the boot has brought up a point. Or no, it's gone over the line again on the full. So once again, Roger Crouch will take the penalty free from the back pocket.
Waiting for the ball to come back to Roger Crouch. The score, East Fremantle 21-19, 145. The South Fremantle's 15-16, 106. 33.5 minutes gone in the final quarter. Waiting on Crouch. He goes in short to Lester Smith. Lester Smith has the ball knocked away from him by Delmenico. It's running free at the moment. Now a chance for Tony Morley. He lines them up. He hasn't missed either. A goal to South Fremantle, but a little too late, I fear.
Yes, Tony Morley has been one of the... What have we got? We got all the crowd again. I didn't hear the siren.
Well,
apparently somebody else has. The umpires haven't.
Have a look at all the policemen with their hailers saying, hey, fellas, this is a false alarm.
I don't think that siren's gone. No,
well, it has. None of the other crowd, none of the rest of the crowd are jumping around at all, John. So I think it'd be a 1957 when they gave a false siren in the preliminary final.
It's going to be a very, very late finishing game today.
Steve, you remember the 1957 grand final well, because you played a bit of a shrewd one, and it was the captain coach of that side for the Blue and Whites. When you went out to the half-forward flank, apparently injured, picked up a couple of goals.
Yeah, sure. Well, the player I played on fell for the third card trick. Arthur, unfortunately, wasn't injured at all, but I had a slight cramp, but it wasn't that bad.
When you have a look at the way the crowd's been dispersed, it's great to see that a large crowd can be misled, go onto the ground, and then adhere to the laws of the land. The policemen are out there, and they're clearing quite easily, which is something you don't see in other countries of the world.
5 minutes to go. It's Tony Bahagia. 25 seconds to go, we believe. I thought it was 5 minutes. 25 seconds to go. Tony Bahagia and Brian Peake having well-earned rest. There he is. We reckon the man of the moment. He's had 32 kicks. Brian Peake's had 25. And Tony Bahagia's had 11 kicks in the last quarter. And there can only be seconds. 25 seconds, we believe, to go for the 1979 grand final. Somebody's being roundly booed at the moment. I don't know who it is.
The local constabulary, but they're doing a good job at the moment.
Well, the score, Brad Smith's a proud fellow.
21-19, 145 to South, 16-16, 112. As we wait for Ross Capes to get proceedings underway again. Bounce down. Tap. Taken by Kickett. Rioli is in there. Look at him scrambling. He puts the ball forward up towards half forward. Delmenico playing with one boot. Chance for Morley. He kicked the last goal. Leaves it. In there is number 4, Graham Moyle. Look at them going in hard. Finally emerging with the ball is Carrot, who's played a top game for his side. In towards the centre of the ground. Maurice Rioli takes a good mark. He in turn goes out to Dale Reed. The siren is gone. Now it's official. Now the crowd could run on the ground. The 1979 grand final is East Fremantle's 21-19, 145 to South Fremantle 16-16, 112. And there is an absolutely delighted Brad Smith.
Yes, well, look at him there. The picture tells its story. The 30-year-old Brad Smith, who came from boying up as a country boy, who now make himself a near immortal in coaching prowess, because in his first year with the Blue and Whites, his first ever coaching appointment, he's brought off a premiership, but it was the way he did it. He had the players around him, but in the final rounds, Brad Smith made all the right tactical moves and has certainly distinguished himself as a coach without peer in the 1979 season.
There goes Malcolm Brown walking off the ground. An understandably very unhappy Brownie, because his side were the trendsetters all year. He did everything in his power to bring his side to victory, but just couldn't make it in the dying moment, Steve.
No, it was, well, I'm not saying it's unfortunate for South Fremantle, but it was a great game of football for 3 quarters. And congratulations to Bradley Smith. There was a lot of knockers in the East Fremantle camp when it was first suggested he would be coach of East Fremantle side because of his inexperience. But heavens above, talking to the players and getting their opinions of Bradley Smith, they reckon that he was one player that could bring out a lot, or one member who could bring out a lot in players with coaches in the past have failed. Bradley Smith, for his first year as a coach up, joins, I think, Arthur, you said 7 for his first coaching year to a premiership.
Yeah, we'll just have a look at him there. One of the big moves that pulled off. There he is hugging Ian Thompson. Now, who would have thought that he could resurrect Ian Thompson from the Wanneroo Sunday League? There's Bahagia on your screen. Have a look at little Budgie, his 100th game, one he'll never forget. Trevor Sprigg is the fellow hugging him, who's also a Lynn medalist, the fairest and best for East Fremantle. What a crowd we've had here today. And I repeat, it was a record crowd. All the Fremantle folk from south of the river flocked here. They closed the gates at 2 o'clock for this 79 grand final, and 52,891 put yet another record to the south of the river football fever.
Congratulations to South Fremantle for making it a record crowd and putting the football on the map as far as the grand final is concerned.
Those comments from Steve Marsh. The final score from Subiaco Oval in the 1979 grand final. East Fremantle 21-19, 145, defeating Souths 16-16, 112.